Yeah, it's no.
Hi, I'm Devo. I'm rank 2 in
There's
EU
no sound.
right now.
There's no sound, by the way. The sound was.
You think it was just me talking. You guys are now, yeah, they could have heard Devo, but for some reason it wasn't me on mute. Sorry. I'll do the introduction from the start. Welcome, everyone. I'm Peleg. I'll be the host of the second EU Roundtable. We're gonna do introductions right now. Everyone will speak about who they are and what they play. Everyone here is, of course, a top player, and we even have a few special guests from other regions. So I usually play Sua and Tia. Recently a bit more Tia than Sua. Maybe you know me if you played, and I also played on an account called Ilmeria. I think I placed around Diamond 1, but yeah, that's basically about it. Okay, now you can go, Debo.
Hi, I'm Devo. I'm rank 2 in EU right now, and I play sometimes Hyejin.
Okay, chill.
Hi, I'm Chill Scorpion 22, and I play Sylvia and on my Shukai account as well.
Okay, Frakti.
Hi, I'm Fractonite, and I pretty much only play Rio.
Okay, Sunlit.
Hello, it's Sunlit, the bush camper. I'm known for my professional bush camping. That's all.
Okay, Rogue.
Hi, I'm Rogue. I played since preseason. I first played Yuki and then Lennox, and I'm just Aiden main now. That's it.
Okay, Bobo.
Hi, my name is Bobo, and I play ISIL since preseason 2. And not much else. Maybe some Lennox here and there.
Okay, Imo.
Hi, I'm Aymar. I mainly play Cathy, but I switch my mains a lot. So yeah, I can discuss a bit about Cathy. And that's it.
Okay, now we have a special EU player that just plays EU from far away from another EU place, Dark Genex.
Hello, I'm European Barbara player Dark Genix. I love Barbara and Europe. Thank you for having me on.
Okay, now from under the table we have Gonzo.
Hello, I'm Gonzo. I play Camilo. And why I am on the bottom of the table?
It was supposed to be your special spot, but because we had some late game arrivals, they got also placed under the table because the above the table is already full.
So I play Camilo. I'm the best player in the world, but I don't play this game.
Okay, Hamed. Hamed?
He muted.
Hamed is gone. He's gone.
Okay, we'll go back to him later. Be brave.
Hi, I play Kiara a lot. I hate crit Kiara. Please rework her. I want Amp back. Thank you.
Okay, Arkas.
Hi, I'm Arkas. I play hard a lot and actually every ranged auto attacker, and I like to right click.
Okay, Miroto.
Okay, yo, hello. I am the only native pawn player on the whole Eternal Return, and I don't bush camp. Blame Sunlight.
That's Cap.
Okay, FD Good.
Hi, I'm FD. You can just call me FD, and I play Eileen.
Alright, now our special KR player, Yuang.
Hello, I'm Yuang. I'm a Nadine one trick playing on the KR server. My current rank is Immortal. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hello everybody, I'm Yuchio. I'm maining Leon and Felix, and yeah, that's it.
Trick.
I am Trick. I'm rank 1 EU at the moment, and I represent Laura, Eva, and Salim.
Okay, Smug.
Hey, I'm the great YouTuber Smug Dragon. I play Linux and I abuse Nadine to rank 5 EU.
And finally, Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny Manny. I play weak melees like Daniel, Yuki, and I recently picked up Elena as well.
Okay, so that's it for the introductions. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you for the very round table that Freya's girlfriend made. Thank you for that. And thank you also, Devo, for helping me organizing a few stuff. So, as you guys saw, we have some special guests from NA and KR. They will give a bit their perspective of things. Now, let's go to the first topic. The first topic is the latest patches. Do you guys think they're going in a good directions about their balance, they're doing stuff correctly? Like, I can say personally to start things off that last patch was a bit of an insulting sewer buff. She was like in a bad spot, and what they did not change anything, which was 15 more damage and Q. So anyone wants to comment on that?
Trash!
Latest patches?
I
I mean, patches have been okay.
Good,
I think,
bad?
They are okay, I think, but they are always lacking stuff. Like, for example, we still have healing factor being super strong, and everyone knows it's strong.
I think they're slowly moving into the right direction, but it takes quite a while to do the good changes, to say so.
I think we've recently seen from Nimble Neuron, a lot of their balance patches have been on the conservative side in regards to changes. There haven't been many characters that have been like severely gutted outside of hotfixes or supremely buffed to the point where they are overpowered. And I think that's relatively fine. I'd rather have patches that are a little bit lighter, even if they're headed in the right direction. And I think most of the patch like notes head in the right direction. Also with the animal changes, I think was really cool. Adds more farming to the game, a little more interactivity, more things to fight over. But I do agree that having it so the changes aren't so drastic makes it so the meta doesn't shift as frequently, and it makes it so certain problem characters remain problem characters, or certain characters, like you mentioned with Sua, remain weak even with changes, because some of the buffs are a little bit lackluster in comparison to what they could be getting.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the fact that some champions also get like small changes each patch. They don't get gutted in one patch. I think it's better for the meta overall. Because you don't have to switch your main each time.
I mean, something that happens a lot is we have certain S-tier characters which barely get touched, and meanwhile others, which might even not be like the best characters, literally get gutted in the same patch. It's kinda bizarre at times.
Like, I don't understand why Nimble Neuron is nerfing Yuki every patch.
Popularity equals nerf.
I think NN nerfs more characters that are popular than characters that are a problem. I think we see this with Yuki, for example. He's really popular, and that's why they keep nerfing him. I think that they don't look at the strength of the character, more at the peak rate, and they try to balance off that, which I think is not that great of an idea.
I mean, isn't the issue that they oftentimes can't even judge how strong a character is because you have one good player on a character? And if the one Sylvia main performs, that doesn't mean the character is usually broken. Or, well, that it is broken at the highest elo, but that might as well be other people being bad, so it's hard to balance in the first place.
It's like balancing Luke for low elo.
I mean, remember when the start of the season, like in pre-season, I think Nimble Neuron said that they knew the meta was the problem and that they wanted to change it, and they barely touched stuff, is what I feel. Like, they pushed this idea of everything is going to change in the meta, and they pretty much kept the same.
Okay.
I do have to come in there really quick, because they didn't say that they don't like it. They said that they don't like how quick the one-shot meta is one-shotting people, but that they want to keep it to a similar time to kill, but not as quick, which they haven't.
Okay, let's get to the next topic, which is a bit similar. How do you guys feel about the next season that's gonna come? Do you guys think maybe the new game mode is going to save the game? Do you think they're gonna try anything new, maybe with solos? that will fix stuff?
I think the new game mode is either going to kill the ranked competition, or it's going to bring more players. I don't think the new game mode is that good for Eternal Return because it removes a lot of the game. So I think it's going to be more casual after the game mode comes out.
Not gonna lie, I think it's just gonna blow up on release and then it's just gonna die. Everybody's gonna play the main game mode unless there are new players coming and they like the new game mode more.
I mean, we talked about this before, but I really hope that they will make certain changes because the new game mode would be perfect for a competitive environment. If you make it like 3v3 with like a draft system, it could literally be the best competitive game mode.
I think they said it's gonna be 4v4 already, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
and
Yeah,
and the
it's
characters
4v4.
will be random. That's why I'm saying that like in its current form, it won't be good for competitive, but it has the potential to just be competitive if they
There
change
is no
some
RNG.
stuff.
We don't need another League of Legends.
Hey, I'm
Just
with
gonna
you,
be
man.
ARAM. Like, if I wanna
Global
play
Protocol
ARAM,
is
I can
just
just play
casual,
LoL.
and we were popular like 1 week, and people will leave, and will die in that mode. Like, it's shit.
It's more like Battle Royale, if anything, and there's a missing niche for that genre at the moment.
Okay, now to the next topic. Nimble is continuously releasing new characters. With Tia and Felix, do you guys think the new character skill design is going for the better? Like, I would say that the newer characters usually have more mobility than the older characters and more flashy kits. But do you guys think this is like a good direction? Do you think they should maybe make something more Jack Your Eye-like that's a bit more simple?
I think it's a good direction if they start remaking older characters, because
Kiara?
some other characters just can't keep up. Like Felix in release had 7 straight dashes. That was a little bit too much.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you look purely at stats, but I mean, if you play the game too, you can notice some older champions that are pretty simple, like Jackie and Kiara. They are also strong.
Yeah,
they
I
aren't.
hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
but the
don't
thing
fall behind, so to say.
Just make another Natapon, thanks.
But the thing is, with older characters like Jackie and Kiara, they are just overstating them because they can't keep
Yeah.
up with the new
Yeah,
characters.
that's
So I don't think
Exactly.
that's a good idea to do this.
I
Just-
think new characters are too overloaded. Like, they have literally everything in their kit.
If we talk about Elena, I feel like she was like maybe a well balanced character in the way that she has a good escape. She has CC, she has a bit of damage, but she doesn't have the she doesn't have everything. Like, she doesn't have a healing. She can't really kill someone that wants to escape. She can't really chase that wheel. She has a bit of everything, but not too much. And I think that's a good character
true.
release.
I think Elena was good, but Felix now.
Yeah,
I still
Elena
think
was fine.
Felix is pretty
was
against.
yeah, it's.
I think Elena is actually having an overloaded kit, but her stats are not good enough at the moment. It's the only reason she is, in quotation marks, fair. Like, she has literally an insane escape. She has medium chase, but she has like 3 seconds of CC if you were to not break the freezes.
Yes, but the CC doesn't really matter in a 1v1 because you can't hit the enemy in it. Like, if you CC the enemy for 3 seconds, you are not hitting them in it.
I
Yeah, if you don't stand in the.
You feed them for third party, insane. That's what we need.
Well, yes, that's a really big issue of the character. She just makes you a free target for third parties.
Yeah, it's really unfun. That's actually also an issue with Tia. Like, she has so much CC that she's like really great to generate third parties against the other party.
Yeah,
it's really unfun,
when
actually.
Tia works, I don't think anyone is enjoying, because the amount of CC she has in her kit makes her look like absolutely broken. Obviously, when she like gets disarmed or fucks up, she might look very useless, but when she does work, she makes Tia look like very, very good.
The issue is more like they have a ton of CC, which, like, even if it's 1 versus 1, the CC makes the person who has less CC fucked.
Yeah, I get to
In a
put it
1 versus
into
1.
perspective. Tia, after she hits blue, she gets somewhat almost guaranteed yellow. The blue is like half a second knockup. After when the yellow hits, it is like a bit more than a second of a snare. After that, she can channel it into her ult. If she did the yellow long range, then the ult is actually guaranteed. And then when she gets the ult, she probably also puts red on you before, so you get stunned for like a second and a half. After that, she can bat skill you into a wall and blue you again, and then you probably die. So that's around like 3 or 4 seconds of you not being able to play the game, and I can see that being kind of toxic.
And yeah, about characters, I think most characters are fun and really nice, though one thing I hate is that certain stats are useless on certain characters, like Tia and Felix both don't scale with CD, and it's literally the reason they're kind of broken. I mean, not broken, but like Felix has 7 seconds CD set on his abilities just because he can't build CDR. If he had like 12 seconds CD on 3 abilities, like QQQ, then he would be a lot more balanced because he could build CDR. And he has to sacrifice something for CDR, sort of.
I agree.
Okay, let's
I
get
also
to...
think the game would benefit a lot from a testing ground like PBEs for League. Like we wouldn't
It's
have
coming.
we wouldn't have to sit through Felix doing triple ESD damage on his Q or stuff like that.
Okay, let's get
wasn't that a
to...
bug?
Let's
That
get to
was a
the next topic. The next topic would be the state of use region. In this topic, I would also like the help of Yuang and Genex, is like how EU performs compared to other region. Is the meta... Does the meta feel different? Is the pilots better, less better? Like, is there anything that EU lacks or does better than other regions?
We lack players.
From playing the in-houses, I think the meta is about the same actually. Yeah. Maybe
Really?
certain pilots are like better in KR, like Sylvia 1, Heejin 1. Yeah.
I think what's been said already is relatively the same in regards to the EU versus NA meta, I guess. There's a couple of characters that are present in each region that at high elo, which are not present, or it's just a completely different, I guess, what would be the term? It's a completely different environment because of the lack of a certain character or the existence of a certain character. For example, in North America, we have Adela as a threat in a lot of our larger lobbies, whereas in EU, it's, at least from what I'm seeing, there don't seem to be like super high ranked Adela players, and vice versa. In EU, you know, Laura does extremely well right now, whereas in North America, there are no very high ranked Laura mains. And the ones that do exist are not terrorizing every single lobby. By that logic, it's like there are just different threats in regards to the characters themselves, but for the most part, it's relatively the same. The game itself is the same, so it's not like certain characters are just going to be better than or worse than other characters. Maybe if there's like pilot gap, maybe, but I think it's just the lack of and or presence of characters that makes a difference within the regions. I think there's a similar thing with SA, whereas like there is a Barbara player in South America like dominating every lobby, and it's just both NA and EU just do not have that level of Barbara player, which is why the lobbies look a lot different.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same with art. Like for example, we in EU we have only me on art, and I'm certainly not the best pilot compared to Paymaster or Revolu in KR. Both of them are playing like really good and are performing like I don't know, they're just overperforming compared to the rest of the region. Whereas me, I'm just stuck in Peace Low Elo trying to do things with my heart, but honestly, that's just pilot gap. Like, if we had a bit more players, not a bit, but actually a lot more players in the EU, I will then feel the difference between another player of art who will be actually better than me, and then we will see just everyone getting almost the same meta in every region. Like I think it's just a problem of player base that we don't have the perfect pilots for every character in the regions.
Not even Korea has the best pilots on every character. The thing is, you still get more good pilots and more characters if you have more players on average. So EU has like bad pilots on most characters compared to other regions.
It's actually funny because in KR, like, they used to have so many sewer players back when she was S tier, but they lacked a good sewer player. Like, you could see most sewer players were people who either picked her up lately or just been playing it for a while and kinda got carried by her. But all of sewer players were bad, took a lot of time to transition into Vampiric, and just had a weird idea about sewer. Which is weird because there was a lot more sewer players than NA or Ryu, but it was kind of odd that the NA or Ryu pilots were considered better. I guess it's kind of RNG kind of thing, because, like, let's say Tia, almost no one in KR plays her outside of like one or two specific people that are extremely good on her. And I can easily say, like, they are much more talented pilots than their sewer pilots. I guess it's a bit of luck, and yeah, I guess because Korea has more people, they have a better chance to get lucky.
Kind of, actually. The thing is, certain characters do not attract good players as much on certain regions. Like, if Revolu decides, okay, I want to main Tia, then Tia probably looks broken. Like, Vork wanted to not pick Elena because he wants her to get buffed and not get good stats in her, otherwise she wouldn't get buffed. Like, there are things like that. It's kind of meme.
Okay, let's get into the tier list. We will notice when we go into the tier list, because the Depraved can arrive plus second, E1 shoulder, I might head them in a bit. But yeah, now it's the first time everyone would see the tier list. I know you guys probably didn't see it before. Can you guys see it?
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about the characters from top to bottom. This tier list, by the way, was an average tier list of all the tier lists the players we have today sent. It's like around 20 people, even some that didn't show up. I included the tier list into it. As you can see, it looks a bit weird. There is a lot of people in A plus and A, while S, B, and C are somewhat empty, but it is ordered by power. So let's say Camilo, for example, is a lot stronger than Aiden by this tier list, even though they're both on A plus. So not on every character we have a pilot we can address their questions to, but we do see a lot of games of every character because a lot of people just pick them up because they're strong. So let's start with the highest rated character, which is Adela. Anyone wants to say anything specific about her?
Can I say something about the tier list in general?
Sure.
Why is this a meme?
It's basically all of the tier lists you guys sent averaged up. So let's say if Adela is S, that means a lot of people put Adela in S. It is a bit funny how many in A plus or A, but I guess it just shows up just how many characters are good yet not too good right now.
I mean, you really see that EU votes lower way too high just because of one pilot gapping people.
Agreed. I was about to mention it. Like, Laura has no business being there. Especially because we agreed on making like a global tier list and not just watching you. And if you check NA or KR Laura's, none of them are doing like exceptionally well.
They are playing Dobak. What the fuck are you on?
I think
exactly like that doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, but I think a big part of Laura's strength in EU is that she has no good matchups against her, like at Alpha and at 3. Like, nobody plays characters that counter her at those objectives. So, for example, Trick can just go and kill everyone who contests. Like, that's usually what happens. Or no one contests because they don't want to die to him. Because he's playing Laura.
That too, yeah. And like...
I'm fist fighting.
I just want to know why Elena was voted as a character.
We'll get to Elena once we get to Elena. Let's try to continue with Laura is being the current topic.
Okay, sorry.
So, Trick, do you think she should not be a test? Where would you place her then?
I put her into A+, because like, I still agree that she's really strong, but just because we agreed on making it like global, and as I mentioned, none of the other regions do well on her, I wouldn't put her into S. And she still has like a lot of bad matchups. She has no Doom matchups or unwinnable matchups, but a lot of bad matchups. And she actually has to snowball really hard because she's half a character without Skadi, for example.
Do you guys agree that she should be A+?
I'm just wondering.
Yes.
Was the NA Roundtable not also a global tier list? Because you put her in S there.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
yeah, the NA tier list was supposed to be basically whatever we thought it would be, not necessarily representative of NA. And what ended up happening was Laura got put very high because NA doesn't really have a good grasp as to how good Laura is. And it was basically just Trick leading that discussion, which is why she ended up being ranked pretty highly in NA.
Enough Trick.
Right.
So I'm guessing we're all agreeing that she should be an A+. So a little down a tier.
The thing is, I also want to make people notice that G-Work is currently playing Laura. I mean, he's playing a shit build, okay, but he's still doing pretty good stats, and I'm just waiting for him to pick up Laura even more to see if she really is that strong as we can see or not. Because I really think Laura is S tier. For my part, in my opinion, I really think she is there, and I think when G-Work will finally master her, we will begin to see her playing more in KR too. So I'm just waiting to see people change their mind on her being S tier.
I mean, not gonna lie, G-Work just has to switch builds and not run the Dobox straight jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
And she would do way better on her.
Okay, let's get it back to the ignored Adela. Do you guys just not have much to say about her? Do you think she's just very much well placed in S? We don't have that many good Adela players in EU. We have a few pilots, but they usually don't perform that crazy as much as other pilots in other regions. I guess Genix and Yuan, you guys can you probably see Adela more than us.
Oh yes, I definitely do see Adela more than you. My opinion on the character may be a bit skewed because of her matchup against my character, but from what I've seen and from the general consensus in North America is that she is fairly overtuned, has a lot more escape options, combo options, ability to kill, low time to kill, invincibility, movement, pretty much everything but politics. So we pretty unanimously put her in S tier, except for the Adela players themselves, who do not understand her potential, even though they play the character. So I'd rank her in S. Yeah,
I agree.
That's my opinion.
The one thing that I think Adela lacks, which is kind of ironic, is I think her escape is actually not as good as people think at times, because her E. No.
He's coping super hard. Oh no.
He's coping.
Could you guys let him finish?
Yeah.
Because her E actually has a limited range where you can dash. Like, it's not like Hatchin where you can run one direction with E. Like, put E in the one direction, run into the other direction, and TP there. Like, that's something people often forget. You need to have actually a big wall where you can EW. Otherwise, you are kinda doomed at times. Like, you can, if it melee gets semi on top of her, which is, I mean, it can be her fault, it depends on the matchup. She is actually not that insane, but I still think she's S.
I mean, I don't think it's very fair to compare with Hygiene Escape, but she does still have a pretty big wall jump, a lot of CC, a big movement speed boost that lasts for a while and very easy to refresh, and she can also get herself invincible and also move, also rapier skill to animals if she's trying to escape. It's still a very good escape and mobility, I would say. It's hard
Why
to
also run Jolly Roger first one stride to also continue moving faster. So
and they also have the movement speed from Queen.
Bro, Venice doesn't even have a
Also,
Venice doesn't even have a mobility skill.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't need one.
So I see we agree about Adela being the queen of this tier list. Let's get...
But like Hatchin E is very similar to Adela E. Why does Hatchin not have that restriction? If I would nerf Hatchin, I would actually change the restriction on her E so she can jump from the other
Guess
side.
we save that for the hygiene talk. Let's get to the character next on the list, which is Camilo. So Gonzo, do you think he should be A+? Do you think he should be higher, lower? How is he currently?
Okay, first, this tier list is based on ranks, right? Like LP games.
The tier list is based on what everyone put it on, and the people who made their own tier list based it on somewhat ranked, somewhat power, whatever they felt most comfortable with.
Okay, so based on ranked, I think Camilo is a S. It's S. Like overtuned. But on tournament, I think A plus low or A. Because in rank, Camilo can snowball like pretty fast, so easy. And just few RNG items can make him crazy and win games pretty fast, like super easy. So that's why I say Camilo is a S is on ranked, but on tournaments, it have a hard time like getting those RNG items and snowballing because the lobby is a lot more good people. So that's why.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. Camilo
Yeah.
has a very it's very difficult to snowball with in tournaments. So and he really needs that snowballing to do good in the mid late game. So I really think Camilo should stay in A plus if we take both the tournaments and ranked setting.
Same, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I put him in S tier.
Okay.
He's overtuned.
I guess A plus is a good spot then. Let's get to the next character, which is Celine. Trick obviously knows her very well. Do you think, Trick, that she's in a good spot there in A plus?
I actually think Celine is just A plus now. Yeah, I was convinced on the NA roundtable actually after I had the discussion with Plus, and the nerfs were actually good again. Because on this nerf they took away 20 damage on each bomb on your ultimate, and before that, a few patches ago, they also nerfed the cooldown refund on your abilities. And ever since then, I think Celine is in a fine spot because she's still like really strong, but it's not forgiving at all. Like if you mess up once, all of your cooldowns are on a really long cooldown, or all of your abilities. So if you mess up against any of the meta characters, you pretty much just die. So I think she's in a fine spot in A plus.
I agree.
Everyone agree?
I agree. I think the biggest
Not us.
nerf to her was actually the mid-range armor change because she's not as tanky anymore. I'm not sure how much the Celine players like the attack speed now, but to me it feels like she's much more killable after the changes.
Attack speed is also really good because you want to basic attack for your passive, and the more attack speed you have, the smoother it is to just keep your combo flowing.
I actually think that she really needs alpha, otherwise she's not really great at the moment. And her alpha take is actually not that insane anymore against many characters. Like many characters can contest her nowadays. Not so, mostly certain melees not, I think, but quite a few can now.
I don't think anyone or like any melee character can actually contest her at all at end
Yeah.
rates. Only maybe if they get
Camille.
there earlier than Celine. Then maybe they can just keep her off of the end rates. But once she gets to stardom, there's no way any melee character can stop her.
Yeah, I think she's A plus or maybe actually A, because I think that her 5 bomb combo actually doesn't really one shot anymore, and after that she doesn't have that much anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think Celine needed to one shot to be really good. Nowadays she doesn't one shot, so she is K, I guess. I don't think she's insane. Unless you fight her near animals, then you can't win.
Yeah,
I
that's also
think
true.
I think she stays in A plus.
Okay.
Her
Yeah, I
damage
think
is still
so too.
big.
Then let's
No, her
get
damage isn't that big anymore, actually.
let's get to our favorite character and probably a big upset because everyone thought she was C tier. Lennox in A plus.
B tier.
We have a
B
few
tier.
people here that are abusing her, or abused her in the past. Now that she's very weak, though, even weaker than she was before. Do you guys think we should get her back to C tier? Do you think she should stay at A plus? What do you guys think about current Lennox?
Yeah. Put Lennox A tier.
Me.
Like Lennox is so good right now. Like she's so hard to kill. She moves so fast. She's so safe.
I'm probably main bias, but yeah, I was the one who put her in A. But yeah, I can see why she could be A plus.
Like she
Yeah.
recently got better with the new movement speed whip, but they nerfed it, but it still works. Like she's still super great.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lennox can survive really good and has like her damage isn't that insane anymore, but I think she still has really good damage and she can get out of most fights since she is so fast. Like if I just compare her to Nadine, I can just walk around and not care if I walk into a bush and somebody is there. I fight them or I just run away. So I feel like Lennox is still pretty strong at the moment.
I think her only weakness is objective contest because like she can't really kill the weak anymore since her damage sucks. Like you can't even kill the alpha fast enough.
Yeah, but she can contest those objectives for like the entire fucking match.
Yeah, you can't move Lennox.
Okay, then I guess we agree on Lennox being there, even though it's unjustified and she's C2.
I think she should be S tier still. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you guys think we should maybe bump her up to S tier?
I think if we're rating it by character strength overall or like tournament play, she can stay A+, but if you rate it by ranked, I think she can definitely be S.
Anyone don't think she should be S?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The objective contest is just
Then I guess we can
objective clear is too
agree on
bad.
this.
I think she should be on the top of A tier, but definitely not on S.
No, not S.
Not
if
S?
Lennox isn't S, then who is? Like, I don't think Adela is better than Lennox. Honestly. I think Lennox is, and has been for a long time, the most disgusting character in this game. Especially since the movement speed whip can just... You literally cannot die, basically. It's impossible. And
I
you
agree.
do
That's
so
why I
much
played in
damage.
ranked.
And whip skill is such a disgusting ability that makes all whip characters, I guess, except Mai, because she's just bad, so much better at chasing and keeping people close than they should be.
Why does Sylvia main say Lennox is broken? What the fuck? Isn't that actually a good matchup for Sylvia?
No.
It's actually kind of bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it sounds
Is it
bad
really
for
that
Sylvia.
Yeah, it's very bad.
And he just silenced him while on a bike also.
I mean, if on Sylvia, if you go
Zip
in
line.
on Lennox, like E is a guaranteed hit. You literally cannot miss that on Lennox against Sylvia. And then you get an automatic ult, and you get the rest of your combo as well. Also, silence, it's not really a good matchup. I think ranged auto attackers, stuff like that, is way better into Lennox.
It's range auto attackers for sure. But I don't think that actually Sylvia's bad against Lennox if you have Devil's Marksman.
Okay, let's
Sylvia can never win, but she never dies.
Let's
That's how the
keep
matchup
going.
goes.
It seems like we have more people thinking that Lennox is S tier than A+, so we'll just keep her there for now.
Do
Maybe
we?
after we change... It sounded like around 5 or 6 people here said she's S, and only like 2 or 3 defended her A or A+, but... Anyone else wants to say she's A?
I think she's A+.
She's A+.
Buff Lennox.
A+.
A+ for sure.
And who thinks she's S?
After looking at the other A+ characters, I
Then
think
let's
Lennox is A+.
then let's just put her at the top of A+ then. There you go.
Good. Fair.
Okay, let's go with the next character on the list, which is Chiara. Chiara didn't used to be so good, but with a bit of changes recently, she started being really good. Depraved, do you think she's good at A+? Do you think she's actually S? Do you think we're just coping?
So, Chiara has a lot of doomed matchups, which prevent her from being S, but she's at the top of A+ tier for how incredibly easy it is to like just pick her up and play her. Like a lot of the times your gameplay is you press D, you press E. If you hit it, even better. If not, then it's optional. Then you press R and you press the right click button on your enemy, and that's about it. You like use your W occasionally to block damage, but Chiara is super easy to execute. She's extremely strong to what's it called? Snowball with. Especially against players that aren't that good. But she has doomed matchups where she literally is not able to play the game against. For example, Adela. If you D-skill on top of her, you are guaranteed to take a 500 damage ultimate into your face at every point. You just need to dodge all of her abilities or your Gonzo if you even get hit by even one. Jackie can just close the gap really fast onto you and sustain through all of your damage while you are struggling to keep your distance on her. Jan just, if he ever gets in range to Q1 you, he's going to hit his Q2 and then you're dead. Camilo, I don't think that's that hard of a matchup actually. Let's see. Alex has the ability to one-shot you really fast. I haven't been one-shot that many times because the Alexes aren't around as much. Bianca, you can't dodge her ultimate if she's really intent on hitting it. Like, if you get my point, Kiara has doomed matchups, which prevent her from being S. But A+, at the top of A+, definitely. Also, nerf healing factor. That's far too strong.
I was about to mention that you said Alex can just one-shot you, but can he really one-shot you through healing factor?
Yes.
If he's not that far ahead.
No.
If he's
Like,
not
can he
that far ahead, he can 80% shot you, but that's mostly enough for him to basic attack you to death with his electronic blaster at the end.
I don't believe that Alex can do that because Alex
He
can't
can.
even one-shot Nadine.
I mean, I have experienced it firsthand.
Yes,
A
maybe
good-
when he
a
had
good
PT
Alex.
back then.
A good Alex can one-shot Nadine for sure.
For sure, yeah.
We don't have any good Alexes here.
Yeah, there's no counter
except for Bobu.
I got a question actually. Where's Chocolate Disco the best Kiara rep?
Yeah, true.
She stands still and kills me.
Facts.
Sadly, we
She's
were
still in
already
dashes.
I
full.
get better tournament results than the players.
She's waiting bashes.
Where is Choco?
Where is
Stop.
Choco?
She's
Choco,
waiting.
my beloved.
Stop
Why is she
She should be on the third round table, trust. Okay, you
Can I
guys
just, like, get on
agree
my spot
with
for her?
Chiara being A+? Do you think maybe she should be S?
Yeah.
A plus.
A+.
plus.
Okay. And now to a bit more a
My
character
favorite.
we'll talk a lot about probably, which is Hygiene. Personally, I rated her S tier like many others, and also so many others actually rated her A tiers, some even B+.
B+?
So
I wonder
we're gonna let Debo start talking about it. Debo, do you think she should be A+? Do you think she should be A? What do you think?
Yeah, I think she's fine as A+. Like, she has a lot of strengths, which is why I think she's strong. Like, she mostly is about kills. I think that's her main point. Like, he can grab many kills in the early game, the mid game, and as a character that you want to gain LP with, she's good at that. But she definitely has weakness, which keep her from being S tier, in my opinion. Like, an S tier character is a character that can do anything. Like, can get kills, like, has good placement, like, can close up games. And I don't know if Hyejin can do all of those things. Like, I think she is strong. Like, she's very good at getting kills. If we are just rating her in her ability to get kills or grief people or whatever, I think she's probably one of the best. But that's not all there is in this game. So, and also, if we are accepting that Chiara should not be S tier because she has bad matchups, I think Hyejin has a lot worse matchups. Like, she has close to unwinnable matchups, in my opinion.
Okay, what are unwinnable matchups?
But yeah, Kiara can run, by the way.
Yeah, like Adela,
I can
Leon.
see Kiara
Leon.
dashing across to half the map with the E.
Leon, I would rate Hatchin as like one of the worst matchups for Leon right now. Except if you got 2 mid-will. It's so bad. Unless
Yeah, but
the
maybe
Hatchin is
that's
bad.
also a thing. Like, Hyejin gets really countered by some items. Like, you get Mithril Armor, you get Hermes. Like, suddenly unwinnable. Some easy
Mithril
matchups
Armor
become,
was
like,
nerfed
terrible.
though.
Fun
That boy
fact.
literally
Yeah,
killed
sure,
me
but
on
still.
Mithril Armor, Mithril Shield, and Hermes. And I had Fortification.
But it's just
Level
not that.
19.
Like,
Fun
like for
fact.
example, I fought
That's a cool-
Pacifist like many times on Jackie, and the matchup becomes like really close when you get Hermes. Like, that's just how it is.
Do you think, Debo,
And I don't
that
think-
a character that has bad matchups should not be S tier?
No, it's not about the bad matchups. But if we are accepting as an argument that Chiara has bad matchups and that's what's keeping her from being S tier, then I can use that argument too to say that Hyejin has a lot of bad matchups. Like Trick said the same about Laura. Like, if we are all saying that many bad matchups should keep a character away from S tier, then yeah.
One thing about the Kiara part is that Kiara not only has bad matchups, has doomed matchups that she has a 0% chance of winning. Jan, for example. Adela is if you get pilot gap is always a 1%. Like if you're just the better player and dodge all of everything and read their mind, then of course doomed matchups can be winnable. But assuming that both players are at least on equal skill, then there's like matchups you cannot win, 0%. There's no chance that you will win this matchup ever. While bad matchups don't really qualify.
I don't think Hyejin can win in equal level against, I don't know, Soichi or Adela. Like, I don't think she can win.
I would also say that when comparing Chiara and Hyejin, like they have a very different like escape third party. Like let's say Chiara has a bad matchup, I think that bad matchup can be forced upon her, and she can't really do that much because escape isn't great. She can only threaten ult, and if people engage after ult, she's probably in a bad spot. Well, I think Hyejin has a very good way of avoiding all bad matchups with her escape.
Yeah, but when you get to a certain point in the game, like, you can't avoid all fights. Like, I'm not saying Hyejin is weak. Like, I know many people think I always say that. I don't think she's weak. I think she's strong. I just don't think she makes to S tier. Like, she has some weakness that, in my opinion, keep her from that spot.
Okay, what keeps her from S tier? Wait. What keeps Hyejin from S tier? That's what I want to hear.
She can't close up games. Like, she can't contest objectives like many other characters. Like, if it's a 1v1, she can get maybe the objective. But since she has to commit to everything, the moment you commit in an objective, you lose the objective. And that doesn't let you transition well into late game. And if you get to late game with like Elemental Bow and you don't make your transitions, like, you just can't win the game, in my opinion. Or it's really hard, at least.
Okay, but you don't get the objectives, but you can get the kills. It's same for Nitapon. He can contest objectives, but he can show up the objectives and kill off people. That doesn't make your character bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying
it's just you have one certain weakness and you use it the other way.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I said that she's good at getting kills. And I agree, Natapon is great at getting kills as well.
Yeah, that's my whole thing.
The thing is, you can actually do... The only thing you can't do without hard committing is Omega. You can kill Alpha with the normal build, with Smart Band and Feather Boots, with basically auto attacks and kiting and D-skill ones. And you don't have to even invest your E. You can get him easily. You just need to spend as much time as basically most characters. Omega, you need to commit ulti, actually. That's bad. But you just don't engage on it. Unless you know nobody's there. That's not a problem. If you commit ulti, other characters do that too. It's fine.
Yeah.
Wickelin, you can just kite forever, basically, if you really wanted Wick.
But I didn't mean that you need to commit ult to get the objectives. What I mean is that if it's a 1v1, like if you're contesting the objective with someone else, like, you can fight normally. Mm-hmm. But if there's more people, like, you can't play the poke game with everyone. Like, at some point, if one of them commits onto you,
you
just lose the object. Like Adela, for example. Adela can play poke forever.
No, Hyejin can escape better than Adela.
Eva can play.
Hyejin has the best escape in the game.
Like, did you see Trick getting every objective on Eva like last season? Like, Eva can do that, for example, when she was S tier. Like, she can fight everyone at the objectives, and there's no problem.
That's the only strength she has. Only if she gets hard engaged and she loses, which means she needs 100% vision control or she's fucked.
But Eva also doesn't have as much kill pressure. But yeah, let's just ask, do you guys think Hyejin should be changed to S tier? Who tier thinks she should be S?
Yes.
I think she should be A.
She should be A+.
Seems like we're agreeing about A+ then.
A+.
So she's in a good spot then. Okay, let's continue with the next character then. Jackie, we try to have Pacifist here. He might still get maybe later, but Pacifist was a bit busy, so we can't be here to talk about Jackie. Anyone else wants to talk about Jackie? Why she's A+? Maybe some even people put her at S tier, which is a bit different compared to last tier list. Do you guys think...
Can I talk for Passy? He gave his votes on Jackie before and
yeah.
Roundtable. So basically, what you say to me is like she's a fine A plus tier, but she definitely isn't S tier because she needs to RNG. She needs to have transitions to win the games, and she can't really fight objectives that much. And also, kill pressure is actually really low when she doesn't play DS, and DS Jackie got nerfed quite a bit. And actually, right now, Axe got also nerfed quite a bit with the range removal on not removal but nerfs on sight, and I don't know the name of the other weapon, but I really think she can't be S when Adela and another character that we'll talk about later is S. Like, okay, I see you, Kira, talking in chat, so I will say it. Jackie can't fight objectives outside of Wick. And even on Wick, she can get third party way too easily compared to other characters.
Why?
Because our only escape is like a E, and
that's
as
still a
we
wall jump.
yeah, that's a wall jump. But when someone like pulls Wick lane to pond bridge or something, or when she tries to I don't know to explain myself the best way possible.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
fine. I mean,
listen,
Passy isn't
I
here,
always
so it's
talk
hard
about
to...
this with pacifist, but like, I don't see how she isn't S tier. She can literally contest every objective in the game. If she sees anyone, she can just wall jump it, or she can just E away, or she can just W away, or she can just, I don't know, use the X skill or use the dual sword skill. What can't she use? And once she gets transitions, she's like winning the game automatically for you.
For sure. I think that the best thing on Jack is like, for sure, when you get transitions, you're basically unstoppable. But the thing is, like, right now, I don't see any Jackie that can contest Alpha, that can contest Omega, and get the objective actually without dying.
I think the
here's
only
the
case...
fun fact.
Yeah, you can
Who is
continue.
the only character in the entire game that has more than one rep in the top 10 of KR right now?
Probably Hard.
Anyone want to take a guess?
Hard has to be.
No.
Jackie?
Has like 3 players.
Yeah, I wanted to say this
Jackie?
too, like, if we take KR stats into account, the stats speak for themselves. She has like top 10 or top 20 stats for everything.
She has 2 top 10 reps in KR right now.
She's good to claim, and I won't deny it. She's really good to claim. For claiming, I will definitely put us an S tier. But for tournaments and everything, she really can't play without RNG, and she can't get to objectives in tournaments without someone contesting you, without like just dying to third party or something. Like,
that's fine, but I'm completely okay with that being the reasoning for you not putting her S. But the tiers for this specific list were ranked based, which is rated on how easy or likely it is for them to earn an MMR in a ranked game, and whether you're using Rat Jackie, whether you are contesting objectives, whatever. Jackie is very good at climbing, and that is why I think a bunch of people put her very high.
Let's try to sum this up. Do you guys think Jackie should be S tier?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I mean, I voted in
Yes,
their A.
yes,
but-
it's all.
Gaijin is not S tier.
Yeah, that's good reasoning. And you guys think she's high plus then? So I'll just keep her where she
Actually,
is.
no. I'll change my mind. If Camilo isn't S tier, then Jackie shouldn't.
Yeah, if Camila isn't S tier, if Kiara isn't S tier,
So-
if Gaijin isn't S tier, so shouldn't be Jackie.
So guys, why do we have one S tier only so far?
That currently
my
means
opinion,
that
all of those
Adela
should be
power
S.
is just much bigger.
Coping.
Okay, let's get to the next character. Steamora couldn't really be here to talk about Fiora. And Pacifist could also talk about her, but he's also not here. But we see plenty of them. Do you guys think Fiora should maybe be S tier because she's really, really strong right now? Or maybe not?
No.
I think she's even.
I think she's
A.
fine.
It's fine. On A
Do you think she's A?
She's worse than other auto attackers. Like, the only thing that makes her good is literally like Felix Diamond Shard.
Yeah.
I think she has
This is
clear.
every auto attacker basically.
Yes, but the
ult
Diamond Shard
and Diamond
gives her a
Shard
lot of
protection.
time. Because Diamond Shard gives you enough defense that you can just stun people with your ultimate. And you can
Which-
just win time with it and just right click people.
Which weapon do we even consider best? I think two-handed is...
Two-handed.
Two-handed.
Yeah, two-handed.
Mono
but
is
with RNG.
definitely her best build.
I think her best build is actually Rapier
Not
Rapier
Amp,
is
No way.
but they play Ample Rapier as far as I know.
I mean,
and they
passive
play
Rapier,
quick
yeah.
on
You
two-handed.
can play your build. You can play like crit rapier, you can play crit two-handed, you can play crit spear, you can play amp rapier. I think everything is decent.
Yes, but her
thing
best
is-
build is currently, I think, two-handed.
The thing is, we have
Yeah,
ordered
best build
Ekkas
is
in
two-handed.
A+, and I think Camilo and Jackie are both better than her. And Lederlin is way better than her too.
Same. That's why she's like on the right side of A+.
So you guys think we should maybe
she's A
get her
too.
to even A tier?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, then
Not
let's skip her
Diamond
then.
Shard.
Okay, next on the list would be Daylin. FD, would you like to talk about why she's A+? I think you also placed her even a bit lower on your list. Do you think she's maybe A?
Yeah, I placed her a little bit lower because I was putting her on ranked tier list. But I'm fine with her being in A+. She right now, both weapons are viable. She has multiple augments and playstyles. She can rat, she can go for snowball, she can scale, she can do basically everything. She's not the best at any of them, but she can still do it very well. The only reason I put it in A and not in A+ is because she's that kind of character that has a lot of bad matchups in paper, but because of our kit works, most of them become skill-based and require some kind of experience in those matchups. For example, on paper, the Lennox matchup is unwinnable. But if you have experience and you can dodge whip skill, you can specially dodge the game so she doesn't get the move speed. That's an okay matchup, for example. And a lot of the top tiers, like Laura, like Adela, like Camille, she has good matchups against those. So I think she's fine in A+. I don't have anything else to say about that.
The reason why, let's say, I put her in S tier, but after saying what we talk about, I would think A+ is a good place for her, is mostly because, especially on Nunchaku, she has some of the best kill secure and third party in the game, just because she can execute people really, really well compared to the rest of the cast, without needing any prerequest. And she also can escape from most situations if she wants to, with having two gap closers that move over walls, and even being able to dash some auto attacks that let her... like if the auto attacks have a slow or a CC with them, she also dodges those. I think she has like a very good ranked kind of playstyle, both with third partying and escape. But I guess if like some characters you're not putting in S on this list, I guess A+ is a good spot. Do you guys agree?
No, I disagree. I actually think she's one of the 3 best characters in the game right now because she's literally better than Felix. And I actually think Felix is even A+ at the moment, just because of his high kill pressure, but Daylin does basically everything better than he does.
I think Lederlin is the best melee in the game right now.
Same.
Agreed.
I think she's good because she counters the whole meta that is like A+. She counters, let's say, Camilo. She counters... I don't know how the Jackie matchup goes, so I can't say about that. But I know she counters Camilo. She can counter Daniel. She can counter Fiora.
Okay, so who thinks here that she should be S tier, Lederlin?
S tier.
Same.
S broken.
S tier.
Okay, that's around like 6 or 7. Who here thinks she should stay at A+?
Me.
I think she's fine at A.
Okay, it seems more votes right now.
If any other characters we discussed already are A+, she should stay A+ as well.
Anyone else who thinks A or
Stay
A+?
forever like this. We're gonna stay forever at just one S tier.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Currently.
So you guys be fine if I just put over here? Or do you think she should be S tier?
I think she should be either
Yes.
S or like the top of A+, at least.
Yeah, high A+.
Yeah, top of A+.
And then I guess this is a
Put
good
her-
compromise.
Why do we not put her S then, so we actually have S tiers, when everybody agrees she's literally S tier or the best character?
it's not- it's not,
put like another 4 characters there.
It's not
Just
everyone,
put S.
it's like half-half, but you know what, let's put her at S, just to make the qualifications into getting into S tier a bit easier. Maybe we can even revisit some of the characters we didn't put her there.
Yeah, should be.
We can adjust it later as well. Okay, let's get to the next character, which is Hart. We have our own EU Heartmain Arcas to talk about her. A lot of people actually put her in S tier, while some people even put her in B+. What do you think she should be, Arcas?
I think currently she's like the best character in the game, and the only thing that holds her back is like the pilot. For real, like I really think she's really overtuned, especially with the new Myth armor, and the fact that she can use it makes her so strong because she can reach like 119 defense on late game. That's fucking huge for a fucking ADC. Like I don't see any way she's not a S tier and like on the top of the tier list.
Anyone thinks she's not S tier and would like to deny that?
I think she's S tier as well. I think she's the best character in the game as well. Like, she barely has any bad matchups. Or any matchup is basically pilot get possible. Like, even characters like Hatchin. Characters like Hatchin, you can just and cancel their ulti.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
you can literally beat every character except...
I think the most doomed matchup for right now is like Shukai, but except Shukai, she has like no real bad matchup. Like she has no 100-0 matchup. Like she doesn't insta lose any matchup she sees, and that makes her so strong. And that's, even Shukai on late game with Myth armor, it's playable. It's actually playable. So.
I think like the other bad matchup might be Eva just because she hard outranges you, but you don't see her in EU anymore. But nothing else, I think.
But even Eva is playable. I think Eva
I think not against Trick if he actually plays.
Yeah, but you still have the option against Eva to just dash in 3 times and just charm.
Yeah, that's just pilot diff if she wins.
Yeah.
So I guess we're agreeing she should be in S tier here.
Hawk, my S tiers are actually S tier.
I think she also should be on the top of S tier actually. I for sure think she's better than Adela.
You guys also
think she's better than Adela too.
Okay, that's enough people to say that.
Okay.
Let's get to the next character, which is Daniel. We have a few people that used to play Daniel, but the one who was also rep and most known for playing him would be Danny. Danny, do you think he should be A+? I think there was like a time he was even S, but now he's a bit different. He can't spam weapons anymore. What do you think of his current state?
Okay, first of all, you still can spam weapons, just not the same one. And I was gonna say that everyone is coping by putting him in A+, because he should be a clear S tier, but a lot of the characters that we talked about before and did not move up to S tier are close to the same level as Daniel, or even a bit stronger than him. But so like if they aren't moving up, I don't think Daniel should be. But I think Daniel is an S tier with a lot of the other characters that we talked about before.
Anyone here thinks he shouldn't be in S tier?
He can win games, and he can snowball well after like well, he can snowball well night one if he finds easy matchups, but usually he starts killing at second 3.
Anyone here thinks he shouldn't be in S tier?
I think Daniel is S tier. Like the fact that character like 100-0 in a second is so good. Like in EU, people play like squishy characters early game, and I think Daniel just killed them easily.
That's what the agent does too.
I wouldn't put him in S because I think he's very dependent on snowballing. Like he needs transitions and he needs the kills, and if he doesn't get it, he feels like really weak.
I don't think he relies on snowballing, but he does rely on transitions if he doesn't snowball. Like he can do well late game with 1 or 2 transitions if he also gets kills, but he can also just so he won't win the game if he doesn't get those transitions and mastery, but he can still just rat for, I don't know, -5 LP instead of getting -15. So, like, if you are looking at climbing, he's a very good character. He's, like, probably top 5 for climbing, just because of his ratting and the snowball and the winning potential of him.
Okay, I guess we do agree that he should be S tier. I think, like, as Danny said, even when he doesn't get his transitions and there is a matchup he can't really win or doesn't have enough damage, he will still probably be in the final zone with good amount of kills, just because he has very good third party, very good kill secure. And he also, if he does get those transitions, he can make some matchups really, really easy.
The thing is, when I think about Daniel, is he needs his Blazing Quest to do anything, and he's also one of the characters who's not good at contesting first tree. And the thing is, people who contest first tree or Meteorite, or maybe even Alpha and go to the second tree, if he loses second tree as well, he can just thread and not do much anymore, no?
And also he can't
in my
contest
opinion,
Alpha.
we
on
can
top
put
of that.
him I guess, in the current tier list, and maybe when we move some people up to S, we can also move him up, I guess.
I think he's A+ because you really need Blazing Quest or to kill people or not.
I agree with that.
I also think that in tournaments he's not really good. Like he can red for sure, but he can only get
he's
like
too
1
based
or 2 kills.
on
But
RNG
yeah,
items.
on climbing, if this was a climbing only tier list, then for sure I will put him in S. But in tournaments, I don't think he's really.
Do you guys remember the tournament Danny won on, which is mostly due to him popping off on Daniel for multiple games? He did seem like a pretty good character there on the tournament.
He got nerfed ever since, and also I think Hatchin is literally a better version of Daniel.
And I think the meta is
True.
not that favored for Daniel right now.
I mean, yeah, Hajin is one of the characters that I think should be in the same tier as Daniel.
Same.
So let's vote for it. And who thinks Daniel should be A+?
Me.
I think
it should be A+.
Okay, and who thinks S?
In the current tier list, I think he's not A+, but if we move people up, he should be S.
Okay, then for now, let's
Agreed.
put him on the top of A+, and think about him later, maybe. Let's get to the next character. It's a character which Alex, which a lot of people didn't rate him, and the ones who did usually put him in S. There were still a few more that put him in A because maybe they weren't really used to him. We don't really see a lot of Alex in U. There used to be like one big Alex main and another one that's a bit in lower elo, but we don't get to see him lots in our matches. What do you guys think about him?
I think a perfectly played Alex can be S. Like the
Yeah.
character can do almost everything, but it's mostly pilot gap, and we don't have the players in EU to judge him accurately. So I understand the people who put him in C. Oh, not in C. In I don't know tier.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Alex, because of how hard he is to play, can warrant a placement in A+ over S tier. Because if I've played like a bunch of characters in this game, contrary to popular belief, but he's very.
one trick.
I'm not a one trick.
Right,
but
she played Susanna when she was broken. I forgot. Okay.
Alex is really hard, and I think because he's so hard to pull off, he warrants a placement in A+ instead of S.
I think he is really hard to judge. I think you need to do like 3 times the effort of another good character to perform on him as well as on another character. You need to craft 4 weapons. You need to be able to switch all the weapons perfectly, and if you fuck up anything, you basically cannot play the game and you are dead, probably. And his spells feel all unrewarding because they're like all trash alone. The only good thing about him is his ranged combo, like his whole combo turned into ranged combo, which deals maybe, it depends on the build, but like 50% of the target's HP if not ahead. It's like so fucking hard to play, but if you play him well, he still doesn't outperform S tiers or maybe most characters in A+. It's really questionable. I think he's like A even, just because you need to be so good at him to do anything.
I really don't think that should be a factor.
Yeah,
because Celine would also
same,
go lower
same.
if we take into account that not anyone can just pick him up and play well.
I think we should judge characters on their like, I don't know, best player known.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it wouldn't be fair.
I mean, yes, but what's the best player now? The one Korean guy who's sometimes top 10, I guess. But I mean,
sometimes
it's
he had like 10 win sticks sometimes.
I mean, he's
and
really
I'm not
good.
even kidding.
I know, but he keeps getting nerfed. It's such
So,
a
But at the same time, if Dailin is S, I would put Alex too. But yeah,
But-
you just can't judge him accurately, in my opinion.
So do you guys think, based on the KR performance, Alex should be S then? Who here thinks he should be S?
Me.
I think Alex should be S.
Yeah, Alex
I
should
think
be
so
S
too.
tier.
And who thinks he should stay in A+?
A+.
A+.
He's fine in A+.
Okay,
That's fine, A+.
It's a bit 50-50, then maybe
I
we
think
just...
it's 50-50, so
A+ strong, I would say.
remain where
It's like
he
the
is, or
best,
maybe
I
top
guess.
of A+.
Yeah, I'll
or
move
maybe-
him a bit closer down the list here.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, let's get to the next character, which is 11. Again, our usual 11 player, which is, you mostly use Crit 11, Pacifist, he couldn't be here. The other 11 player mostly plays AMP, but we aren't really gonna talk about AMP because it's, I think, a lot weaker than the usual 11 build. Do you guys think she's fine here? She should maybe be S?
She is fine, I think. There's nothing
I think she's
much-
fine here, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, her game plan is very, very simple to play against. So, you know, there's not much she can do aside of R-taunting you and then hitting you.
What I usually see happen in the usual Crit 11 game, I usually see, which usually when Pacifist plays it, he doesn't really do much the entire game, and he can't really get RNG pieces, but then when weak happens, he tries to one-shot it very quickly with his ult, he gets out, and then he kills everyone in the lobby. Because after she does get some transitions, I think 11 becomes unstoppable. And if she can do that somewhat frequently, then she's probably really good, but maybe just because her early game is a bit questionable at times, then maybe A+ is a good spot for her.
I mean, she can red all the time. That's amazing. And she
Yeah,
can
she can,
also one-shot people, except do matchups most of the time. So it's like somebody needs to be retarded to be in RW range, but at the same time, if somebody's not,
Melees,
just
they can.
RE away. So yeah, she's good.
Okay, I guess we can move on to Barbara. We have the best Barbara EU here, which is Dark Genix, to talk about
Can I
her.
ask something first?
Hello.
Who plays
Sure.
her in A+?
We'll
Who's
get...
voting?
So, do you think Barbara should be A+? You don't really get to see her much in EU. Turtle, I think, plays her, and some other guy that usually likes to do tank ever with like Vira and just Emax. Do you think she should maybe even be S tier? I think a lot of people rated her S, actually.
That's very interesting because I heard some very similar things when I was a guest in the North American Roundtable, as I am a European Barber player, and heard some very similar opinions. I wrote a speech for this, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to give it. I do think that Barber has a very strong early game. I'm not giving the speech.
I want the speech as well.
I'm not giving the speech. I do think that Barbara is very strong early game. She has a very strong tree contest. She has some polarizing matchups to the point where if you play the character and walk near her, you die. And she does this to some very good characters. Dylin, she kind of obliterates. Chiara, she kind of obliterates, etc. But when you don't have ult, you can't play the game. You have very little agency in lobbies. You lose the politics game pretty much every time. And I don't think that she has this. I mean, if you snowball with her, if you snowball with anyone really, you can win lobbies. But I don't think she has the same snowball potential or agency or mobility that a lot of the other characters in the A+ or S tier have. Do I think she's a C tier? No. Do I think she is an A+ tier and deserves to be in the same tier area as characters like Hedjin, like Camilo, like Chiara? Absolutely not. And I do not believe that she belongs here. That is my honest opinion on her.
So you would think she would even be A tier?
I think I would personally put her at B+, given this list right now. But I would be relatively okay with A, because I have a couple of characters in the A tier that I would put a little lower, and I could see her in that similar tier range. But I don't think she has the same potential as A+. Yeah.
I'm fine with her being A. Like, A+ is too much.
So,
like, I think people voted her S who play melees that run into her and insta pop, and that's it.
So that's the thing, right? If you play so here's some really secretive Barbara technology, anti-Barbara tech, okay? If you play a melee character and you see the Barbara, you could just like walk in the other direction. I know it's kind of crazy, but you could just walk away. And then here's a really crazy one. Ready? So there is a mechanic in the game where if you kill someone, it appears on the kill feed. So it will say, for example, let's say I sit in a bush for 45 seconds and a Yawn walks into me and dies. And it says, Dark Genix has killed Yawn. Did you know for the next about 1 minute, if you see me, I am dead, and you can walk directly into me, and I have no counterplay whatsoever. Isn't that crazy?
No way.
That's a really cool anti-Barbara tech that
I need
melee
more notes.
characters can use to attack me.
I don't believe you.
I think
Also,
there's something else. Like you can
there's
even
another one.
bait her ulti,
There's the
and
way.
then she dies.
You can bait her ulti as well. Here's another one. This is a really secretive tech. 'Cause I don't see anyone do this in North America, but you can learn how to do this and make Barbara an F tier. So did you know that there is an item in the game called the EMP drone? And Barbaras who build traps in the late game will typically take the zone to themselves using a bunch of traps. Did you know that if you build one of these mysterious EMP drones and click the Barbara, her traps don't work anymore, and you can take her zone and her traps for yourself? Isn't that crazy?
You blew my mind, man.
It's so hard to build.
Crazy.
Yeah, and you know it is hard to build, but you know what you can do? If you contest the Omega objective and kill the Omega, you get EMP drones. More so than that, most people just leave the EMP drones on Omega on the body, and you can just walk to the dead Omega and take the EMP drones. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Cadex, I have a question.
Sure.
What are objectives?
What are objectives? I don't know.
never heard of that before.
I would say, as someone who played on 150 ping last season on a character that had one of the worst matchups against Barbara, yet it still seemed that if I'm just playing smart, I don't just jump into her like every melee with rabies. I can just kind of look for a better time to attack her, as Jenna said, after she used her ult, after saw the Barbara fucked up, after I disabled her traps. I feel like just because she has a very big mobility problem, she can be very easily played around and she can't really force kills on many people. Like, yeah, maybe she can get a few objectives against melees, but I feel like usually just a bad matchup will find her and kill her. And even if she does get a kill, a lot of time she'll die right after.
Exactly.
Okay, so
also, I see Kira in the chat talking about KR Barbaras not crafting traps. That's actually cap. They just don't build traps the entire game. They do build traps after getting tree.
Okay, so I guess you agree Barbara should be getting down to 8 here.
Yes, 100%. And I don't know why North America thinks of her so highly. It's not like there's a Barber performing well. Like, I'm literally the best Barber there, and I am not a good player. So, that's how it is.
You should say a plus.
Okay, guess we can't do that much about discussion because, as I did say, I knew we don't see that much Barbara. So let's get to the next character, which is Leon. We have our usual Leon main here that barely even plays him, but what do you think, Eugeo, about Leon's current place?
Leon's current place is kind of weird, because most characters in A or A plus tier beat him, especially early game, and he kind of really needs Anchi to be useful or like do anything. Unless you actually go a 5 cloth crafting route and or get tree for free. Like, it really is hard to get tree with Leon, and you kind of want it, or you at least want alpha. The best case scenario is you get Sam tree and then contest alpha. In that case, you basically win the video game. If you don't get it, which is very likely because most Sam tree matchups are actually very bad for him, you lose. So, meanwhile, most matchups we see here in S or A+, like the 3 S tier characters are all unfavored unless Adela ins. Most A+ matchups are literally unplayable unless you are very ahead in RNG, which makes me actually believe that Leon is more of an A tier than A+ tier at the moment, especially because of the E-bug fucking you over half of the time, which would me actually place him in A. Like top of A. I think literally every other character plays better than him by a mile.
Bosses.
So everyone agrees with that? Personally, I would say, like, maybe Leon does have a problem of getting those RNG pieces, but I do feel like once he does, there is a very, very good chance he runs the whole lobby down.
But how do you, like, you're really reliant even on Tree at the moment. Like, how do you get them without people donating them to you because you are Twig?
New boxes. Fun interactive mechanic.
Well, Can
we
I
can
just
say
say
about the Hyunu technique, like you just go, somehow steal it, and just fucking wall jump out of there.
Yeah, but you don't have an
Yeah, your
on
wall
this
jump
character.
doesn't work half the time because your E is bugged.
Well,
Cool.
that's unlucky.
Yeah, WE working.
Well, apparently, from what I've heard so far at this list, everybody sucks at objectives. So
Yeah.
maybe you can just
Yeah.
go ahead and take it because nobody else can as well. I
What
don't
do
know.
you do?
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. I don't even know what objectives are.
Like what?
But Leon does not really need first 3. Like that's a big cap.
Yeah,
He can just go farm. He can just go farm and then contest.
I would also say that, like, if you just kill animals and open blue crates and use your big wall jump to escape every fight, most of the games you'll find at least 2 RNG items. If you just kill
There is
animals
no
and open
RNG
blue
in
boxes.
There is no RNG in it.
There is no RNG.
There's no RNG in Eternal Return, at least.
Imagine Leon is so weak, he has to rely on RNG for his E to work.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Jesus.
I mean, the thing is, he is actually really strong. If he gets RNG, though, he still loses most matchups in S or A+, unless he's, like, 2-weapon mastery ahead and has RNG. Or they int. Like, let me tell you one technology that makes Leon useless. Like, either stay out of his Q range, which is hard when he gets RNG, but it's literally free if you don't. Or let him waste his Q. It has like 5-second pool duration and the CD is 14 seconds, reduced by like 12%, so it's like 12.8 seconds. And then you kill him for free because he cannot wall jump and he cannot kill you because he cannot E, and he needs to hit E to kill you unless it's like late game. Pock.
Do you guys think he should be reduced down to 80? Who thinks he should be 80 actually? No.
I think he should stay in A+ tier.
So he stays
no
in A+
side.
then.
I think he should stay here because he can just abuse Halo, and Halo is a disgusting thing. So.
But do not most characters abuse it better than him?
Yeah, but Leon once he gets those items, he practically wins the lobby automatically. Like he's just way too strong.
But the thing is, the other characters that are in A+, that are above him, if they get the items, aren't they better than him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I agree.
he's really good at A+. Like, I don't see any character below him that can abuse Halo better than him.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
I mean, I think Nylene can use Halo much better.
Yeah, but she's in S tier.
She's S tier.
She's higher tier, but I mean,
And what about Aiden?
Just keep
Aiden is
Leon
better
up
than him.
there.
Okay, let's not talk too much about Leon. Most of us here agreed he should be an A+, and he's not like on the top of A+ anyway, so I guess his spot is somewhat well. Let's get to the next character, which is Bernice. I haven't a lot of times plus Bernice. Akus doesn't really play much lately, but that's we also have some other few Bernice players that comes in and goes of EU meta. He seems really good lately, after the changes, I would say, as someone that did die to him Final Zone 3 times last time I played Ranked. So I'm kind of upset about Bernice, and I think like he's really, really strong. But it was all Final Zone when he was at Exodia, so maybe not. What do you guys think about Bernice? Should he still be A+?
I mean, I think it's lower than those.
His snowball potential is insane, as it always has been, but it is a lot harder to get off the ground as Bernice. And he's also susceptible to third parties in politics, too. I don't know if I would agree with him at S, but I think that he's fine where he is in A+.
I think he has too much weaknesses to be an S tier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That
He has
too,
some,
and
like,
I don't
really
know
bad
how.
matchups.
Yeah, and I don't
I-
know how big the nerfs were. Like there is a nerfs to what was it again? BFC.
Blackfire
Or what?
cannon, yeah. But that's just a weapon nerf. It's not that big, but
Yeah, I'm not sure how big they are, but before I'd say he's fine enough.
There is, I think, an argument that he could go to S, though, in that if we are looking at this tier list from a pure perspective of MMR and ranked climbs, the pop-off games he has, he can literally kill like 8 to 12 people in a lobby and get enough MMR to counteract the amount he loses for the bad games. I just want to point that out as something, because he is a very strong, like, I would say probably the strongest snowball character in the game.
But the thing is, you can't do that on tournaments, and that makes me bring it
talking
even
about ranked,
lower.
though.
But like, in tournament, obviously
ranked,
not.
Yeah, for sure. In ranked, he can actually like win games pretty easily. He is a very snowball EV character, and I agree on him being S tier in ranked for sure. But the thing is, he's so downplayed in tournament, and he can't do shit in there. Like he can have a good game once in a while, but in tournaments he will never pop off that as well as in ranked, and that makes me want to put him even lower than where he is actually right now.
I agree with you that Bernice is not a good tournament character, but I think just on the idea that Bernice can have those insane ranked pop-off games, that I don't think he moves down. Especially in the context of this tier list being on how good a character is at climbing.
Okay, but if we are talking about LP, we think Bernice is better than Camilo, Jackie, or Chiara at that?
No.
Because if we are not rating those characters as S tier, I don't think we should rate Bernice.
You know,
either.
I'm not arguing for Bernice and S tier right now. I'm just saying that I can see the argument for it.
So
should be placed down to A tier.
Okay, so Weir thinks he's actually A tier. He does like mobility and sometimes kill pressure. Weir thinks he's A+. Weir thinks he's A tier.
He's fine in A+.
Yeah, he's at least low A+.
Yeah, then it should be moved to the right side of A+. There's no way.
Right side of A+. Yeah,
There's no way he's better than Bianca or Jan. There's no way.
I think he's a coin flip character. I think he's
Yeah.
A. Like he's either I think he has oftentimes 18th games, and he sometimes has his first game where he gets many kills. But it's like you can even do it in tournaments when somebody gets unlucky with looting or something, and then runs into you and you kill him and then you snowball. But he is just a cancer character. I mean, he has many bad matchups too, but he can just kill them if he snowballs hard enough. Though I think he is actually only A.
Yeah, I think it's only A2. I don't think he's higher than the current A tiers at least. A+. Like,
Would you guys be fine with placing him at the top of A list?
Yeah.
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 Okay, then we'll do that for now. Let's get to the next character, which is Bianca. We were blessed to actually have lots of Bianca players in the EU. 2 of them are even here. And she seems pretty strong right now. She usually kills me very fast, or she dies to me very fast. What do you guys think about her current spot, Sandled or Debo?
I guess I go first. I have a few notes to say. Like, even after the nerf, she's in a fine state. She's pretty good. I would keep her at A+, because even though she got damage nerfed, her coffin is now an actual ability, so that's pretty good to have a ability. So you can still one-shot, even though you have to get your fights. You need to think more about your fights. Like, don't be as much monkey in mid-game. Try to play it a bit slower. Try to use a bit more of the brain. Objective-wise, for example, she really needs to commit the dash to actually get consistent kills. So my suggestion is like try to play more for kills around the objectives, in my opinion. And after you see that stuff is getting clear, like kills are getting done around the area, then you can move forward to try to actually get the objective. But pretty much, I think she's in a good tier, in a good spot right now. Just play for kills basically, and yeah, chilling.
Do you agree, Debo? She should stay in A+?
Yeah, sure. I think she's still like really good at getting kills, which is important. And besides, like before the nerfs, she had enough damage to like kill a character from like 150% of her health, and now it's like about the same damage to kill a character. So I think she's fine, and yeah, I agree with Sam that you should slow down mid game, and on late game you go back again, and you can close up games. So yeah, she's a fine A+, I think.
Everyone agrees on it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, she's fine there.
Okay, seems like a pretty good spot. Let's get to the next character, who is also kind of similar in the way she just deletes people off the screen. Cathy. We have a few people here that played Cathy, Emmer being probably the most one, even though he plays other characters, he does play a lot of Cathy. Do you think she's fine in A+? She was one of the strongest characters a bit recently, but she got a few nerfs last patch.
Yeah, I guess this might sound a bit copium, but I think she's like at the top of A tier right now. She got nerfed like 4 times in a row, and she seems much weaker now than before. She can just not do or not get away with what a lot of the characters in A+ or S can do. And to be honest, I think Shoichi is better than her right now. And same with Akion, for example. Those are 2 other characters that I play.
I actually agree with you. I really think she should be on the top of A, but definitely not in A+ compared to the other A+ characters there
If
is.
you would talk about LP gains, then yeah, she can definitely be in A+. You can definitely climb with her. Like, she can ride pretty well and get 2 kills, 3 kills, 1 kill. Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually thinking I think she's A2, but I think she's even close to bottom of A, especially if you look at stats overall. Like, she can't win games.
Yeah, she has like the lowest win rate in the game right now. And surprisingly, one of the lowest average kills in the game. I don't know how. Don't ask me because I don't play Korea. So
I was surprised. I didn't know that she had lowest average kills, but I think that Felix has like way more kills than her, and
yeah,
he
he
basically
has like
fits the
double.
same niche. He fits the same niche as her, and he's just way better than her. I think
Also,
she's
the
like really bottom
top
of A.
Korean Catty mains had like 25% win rate when she was broken.
Did
And
you
now
say-
both of them have, I don't know, 10% win rate. I think the top Korean Catty main is KL Moon. I'm not sure how his name is spelled in English, but yeah.
Okay, so do you guys think we should move to the top of A tier then?
No.
No.
Yes.
Kathy is still a really good character overall.
Yeah.
Like she's
It's
so
still really
slippery.
good.
Like she just rats too well. Like you can't kill Cathy.
She rats well, she executes people well.
It's
She's
fine with
still
me if she
good.
remains where she is. It's fine with me if you can move her to A.
I mean, I agree with everything Aimer said, to be honest. But she was broken, and she was like really good at getting kills. I think she's just like okay now, right now.
Yeah, at the start of season 4, she was definitely S tier, like straight up. You could
Yeah.
just go on anyone. You just see someone on your screen, you just dash on him, you just kill him. There's no counterplay.
That's the issue I always see in like EU. People look at patches back even after heavy nerfs and still consider their state at back then because we don't have that many games.
Exactly. Like, that's the reason I think Akion is also rated so low. And now he's really strong, in my
Okay,
opinion.
so let's put her right now on the bottom of A
Agreed.
plus tier. Maybe later we can even lower her if the tiers will look a bit different, but let's move on. Now we're gonna talk about Sylvia, a character that people placed in all tiers. Some placed her C, some placed her B, some placed her S. And we have Chill Scorpion, who is a big Sylvia player. Do you think she's fine in A+? I heard a lot of Sylvia mains saying she should be a lot lower.
I think she's A+, yeah. But okay, so let me first off say that if it's pure climbing, Sylvia is and will always be S tier. She is the best rat in the game. And yeah, you basically can always get a high placement and like 1 kill or 2 kills and climb automatically. It's really easy. But as character strength, I think A+ is fine. So she still has the great scaling, of course, even better than last season because of pistol skill. Not pistol skill. Pistol scaling being getting a nice little buff, and because of the good survivability, making sure she can actually get there. Also, if you get a couple of RNG items, you become very strong, especially with Wick. I think if you get Wick, you can probably just win the lobby in most cases. Although I guess that's also true for a lot of other characters. But the issue is that getting to a point where you're that strong, so level 16, is considerably harder than last season. Getting 16 at Wick is not consistent at best. It's unless you've got a couple of kills or got really lucky in like various monsters and stuff, you won't be level 16 at Wick. That's the case for every Sylvia I've seen. And not having level 16 at Wick means that your contest and take of Wick is a lot worse and a lot less safe and makes it quite hard. So I think you can definitely still play very well, as evidenced by the #1 Korean player being a Sylvia. But I don't think she's as good as the other S tiers. So A+ seems quite fine for me.
Everyone agrees with that? Does someone think she's higher or lower?
I don't want a counter argument, but I want to know why you think she is not S tier. Like, what makes her weak?
Because you can't guarantee your transitions, and
So
your
she
strongest
can't play
point
game.
comes quite late in the game.
Yeah, she can play game for 16 levels.
I think characters like Lennox, who can just beat people up the entire game, are considerably better.
The one thing I ask myself is, you said that you don't get 16 before Wake, but
yes,
you don't need Wake to win a game with Sylvia, do you?
I mean, not necessarily, but it's a huge helping factor, and it's one of the only objectives that you could contest at your strength last season that now you can't anymore. Or, well, sorry, you can. I think you can contest objectives on Sylvia, unlike apparently all of the other good characters. But it's just quite weak. Not quite weak, but it's a lot of matchups only become good after level 16. So, contests are just not great, I would say.
I would say, yeah, I can see that, but I don't even think that you need Wick. But if you get Wick, you literally insta-win the game because she's like one of the best Wick users even.
Yes, I agree. It's just I don't
Really?
think Sylvia without transitions can win. And so if you get a bit of luck, you're in a good spot. But if you don't, if you like have to get all the objectives yourself, then you're not going to automatically win.
But
basically.
what transitions do you really need? You need one good one is Devil's Marksman for sure, and
Yes.
maybe Midwell Armor. But do you
Overall
really
armor
need...
is most important in my opinion because you need the defense more. Devil's Marksman has gotten quite a lot weaker than it has been because of Jenny. The healing is still very good on animals, but on players it's not great anymore. It's still good, but
Okay, seems like most of us agree that A plus is a rather good spot. She's even not in a great A plus spot. Let's get to the next character, which is Jan. We don't have any Jan players with us right now, but we do have a lot of Jan players, good Jan players in EU. Every time I see Jan, he does extremely well, he wins most of his fight, and he definitely kicks my ass late game when he super transitions. Do you guys think he's good in A plus tier? Maybe he's actually a bit weaker? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think he can snowball the lobby like so fucking insane. He gets alpha, he almost wins the game. Like he can just contest everything after alpha if he has mithril armor. He
I
can
hate
just
this
get
character.
if he has mithril armor, he can just get Halo Engine. Yeah,
To me,
he just
like
one-shots
it's
everyone on site.
It's very similar to Leon. Like when I see a Jan without transitions, I think he's completely fine. But he gets so tanky at some point that and he still hits like really hard. But that's with transitions. Like that's what keeps him, in my opinion, from being S tier or maybe high A plus.
Wait, you think that Jan without transitions is equally as scary as Leon? I think Jan is like 10 times more scary than Leon.
I agree.
I agree.
Especially the crit build. Like the crit build hurts even without any transition items.
Yeah, I still wouldn't put him as though.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't put him into S, but I think A plus is fine.
I think middle
I
of
will
tier.
put him
plus
like
is fine.
Yeah, I will put him like just before A11 maybe.
He can always take a fight when he has ult up, so he's always a threat because he has enough damage, even with his base build with crit, to still KO someone.
So everyone seems to be fine with him being A plus.
Yeah.
I think Debo has
Better than
PTSD
Leon.
from Leon in season 4. So.
I think this
Yeah.
placement
Fuck
is
that
actually
character.
great. Like just in front of Leon, but behind the other minis. I think this is great.
Okay, let's get into the last character we have in A plus tier. We're almost done with that, which is Aiden. A lot of people actually placed him weak, but most people just put him A plus unanimously. We have Rogue who plays a lot of him. Do you think he should be A plus? Maybe even weaker?
I think he should be A plus. Like he really relies on so many things. Like you need stars to align for you in one game. But like once this character gets to the late game and he has like all his transitions, like this character like can kill you in 3 normal attacks. Like it's so disgusting. But like in early game, like he's so weak. Like this character relies on RNG so much. You need like Halo, you need Denzif or the Vitamin, you need Mithril Armor, you need Emerald Tablet if you wanna go full damage. And like it's so many force core, it's blood, it's Mithril, and like around objectives. Like you're so weak. Like this character is so open to third parties, and like when you go to the Mithril alpha, it's just you get third partied while trying to get it because like you fight someone for it and the other person just comes and just kills you because Aiden can't really run away from third parties because his W is on a 15-second cooldown, and if you use it in fight you're not gonna have it when the third party comes. Like this character rotates really slow too. I think he really needs Jolly Roger, but you can still go with Schrodinger's. I don't like it because I just like move around so slow. And like once he gets these items, like he's super strong. Also, another thing that I don't like about him, he has a crit scaling passive, and he like doesn't crit with his Qs too.
Okay, do you guys think it's a good spot?
Plus is very good. As a fellow Aiden enjoyer, I
yeah.
think Aiden is really strong when he starts Align for him. And even without that, if he reaches the late game unscathed, then he can still be a menace. But it's like he can suffer in the early game a lot, just like Rogue said.
Yeah, that's just a consistency issue, though.
Also, like in EU, there is so many bad matchups for Raiden. Like there is Lidalian. Basically, you can't get any not ult charges. The range form charges from her when she dodges. Yeah, and grounded status effect exists. Like when you get grounded by Katy or Bianca, you can't use your E, like both forms of it. You can't use your R teleport, you can't parry. Like your character doesn't exist when you get grounded. Like it's so bad.
Seems like we agreed on the bottom of A+. Let's get along. We're done with the A+ there. We already talked about Unis, we already talked about Barbara. Let's talk about Nadine. We do have two very good Nadine players here, and even more that are just not in this roundtable. Personally, I put her, I think, higher than A tier. But you guys think she's fine with being just kind of top A tier? Smug and Yuang?
So I think for LP gain she is A tier, but in character strength she can be A+, especially with the new animals. She still struggles a lot early and late because she can just get one-shot by a lot of characters. But I think if you get lucky and not like me and get one RNG item from 100 hunts, then I think Nadine can be strong. But I think you really need these transition items. But just for LP gain, I think she's A tier.
Do you think the same?
I think for me, I put Nadine as A+. Because for most characters in the late game, you need transitions to win against the other snowballing characters. But on Nadine, you can actually kill them without having much transition. Or even without transition, as long as you're farming well. Then in this patch, the animals, they added a lot of small animals and you can just farm and scale up. Like late game scaling characters in Korea, such as like Jackie, Fiora, they do contest the wolves and bears because they can see the timers. But for the small animals, you can time it yourself and you can get a lot of stacks, just that you won't have a lot of RNG items. Yeah.
Anyone else thinks she should be A+ actually?
I can agree. I can vibe with the fact of with not the fact with the A1 A+.
I agree. I think
I also think she should be A+.
She does a lot of damage if she gets there, and yeah, her early might be weak, but I think from what I've seen, you know,
yeah,
when she does get there, she hits really hard.
Yeah, we voted characters that scale well into late game in A+, so I think she should be there as well.
Yeah, same.
Let's put her then near the bottom of A+. And get to the next character, which is a character outside of Drake. I haven't seen anyone played in Season 5. Anyone actually pick her, which is Eva. Trick, what do you think of current Eva? Definitely not as strong as she used to be, but is she really A tier?
I personally put her in A plus, if I remember correctly, because I think Eva is still a really strong character, and she can basically contest any objective and can win literally every matchup, no matter how behind she is. She just have to be like really patient and play around vision a lot. And I think that's like the only thing that makes her difficult to play, that you just have to be like super careful no matter who you're fighting. But I think she's still A plus. She has damage, she has good or like decent chase, she can run away, she can contest every objective, she has a really good third party. She's literally a menace with weak buff. She can use every transition item in the game pretty much.
Everyone here agrees
she
might be 8 plus?
Yeah.
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 Anyone who thinks
Yeah.
she's actually A?
I would put her like in the lowest part of A plus, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think if Nadine is A plus, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, if we are all in agreement, then let's get going to the next character, which is Natapon. Another character that people play, some in bitter, some in S tier. He seems to be a bit different in every region. We have Miroto here who plays too much Natapon. What do you think about this space as A tier?
I actually think Natapon is much stronger than everyone thinks. He was S for a while, but recently he dropped down to A plus. Character can be really consistent. He doesn't need transitions at all. He can catch off people whenever trying to get objectives. He doesn't care if someone has transitions. He literally one-shots everyone in the cast, even when on full transitions, full tank. It just depends on if the matchup has parry or any other ability. Like, character is too strong.
I agree
in my
with
opinion.
everything Maroto said. Like, if he Bosch camps and just hits E on
That-
someone unsuspecting, they just fucking die. Like, unless you're Shoichi or like he said, you have a parry or something that can insta get out of his E, you're just dead.
He even has like strong poke. Like he can fight you even with his just Q and autos because he hurts too much.
Anyone here who thinks he actually should be A and not A plus?
Yeah, anyone?
I guess not. And then we can move him to A then.
Yo, move me to A plus. Riders of
A plus, yeah. Anyone else want to give in Natapon takes before we move on?
The thing is, when we look at A plus characters, I feel like A plus characters are just like really strong right now, and I don't think Netapon belongs in this list.
Yeah, I don't think she should be A plus.
Natapon doesn't like belong here in terms of EU because of EU meta, but he's certainly really fucking strong and underestimated.
I mean,
And to be honest, I don't play him to his full potential as well.
I'm sure that he can take kills, and he has a really strong early game power, but I don't think he's consistent at all, and I don't think he belongs to there.
Yeah, I just
He
don't
can
see
be
why.
consistent.
But
The
why
thing
would
is,
you
he
play
can be
Natapon? Why would you play Natapon instead of like Daniel or Bianca, which are good characters that get good kills?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
because I have self-respect.
Is Bianca really better than Natapon? I don't think she is.
No, she isn't.
I think she is definitely.
I think she is definitely.
Bianca is more unfair in terms of combo. Like you can't use your dash. Right?
Would you guys
if she
be
jumps
fine?
on you, you can dash.
Would you guys be fine with putting him at the top of it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would actually like to ask Yuang what he thinks about Natapon.
Yeah.
Since he like actually plays against
in
what's it
KR,
called?
there's only one prominent like Natama player, which is like the
Yeah.
1K LP one. Yeah,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he's in the game, he's really pilot diffing everyone. Like when he's the game, you really have to check all bushes like corners, and even if you do check like corners, he's great at finding like the obscure ones and catching you off guard. Yeah.
Hmm?
I don't think Natapon is very good because in KR there's a lot of third partying, and Natapon has no dash. He can't really do much when he gets third party. He just he just prays he's not the one getting chased.
Yeah, that's like why he can be really as that much, but he can also like stay in few locations, keep them in vision, and just play around it. That's why I feel like he's consistent. Like for example, on EU, my personal favorite is just camp 3 or 5 locations. I keep them in vision and I just play around it. Like Drake, for example, plays characters that I can fight against, and I just totally dodge him until like last few zones, just because I know that I can fight Drake.
Okay, seems like we're somewhat in agreement, so let's keep going. The next character we're gonna talk about is Ian Wu. We did plan on having Momo here, but I don't think he actually arrived. So Chili also played a lot of Yanu lately, right? Do you think he should be in A? I think I placed him personally a lot better because he's very good kill steal and ratting.
Yeah, the thing is I don't know anything about Glove because I only play Bush Trap Wu. And I think that is A tier because it does good damage, but it's also has a niche damage condition, if you understand what I mean. But I think Glove is a lot stronger. I just don't know how strong. But I have to say, I think Momo is also pilot diffing a lot when he plays Hyunwoo in comparison
I feel like
to other Hyunwoos I've seen.
Glove is just a matter of getting kills in the early game with the strong attack speed and attack power that he gets, but I don't really think he scales really well until he gets like many mithril items, but I don't really see Yunwoo being really high in the tier list right now. He's only good at getting early kills for real.
Yeah, and he gets shit on, by the way, by the other Glove users very hard. Like Leon and Dylin just, murder his ass.
Yeah.
No, Leon actually doesn't murder him unless he has RNG advantage, but...
Yeah, I was about to ask how Leon kills a human.
No, I lost, like, when Leon was strong, I lost to Yan Wu's. When Yan Wu was weaker than he is now. Like, literally stat checked.
Yeah.
I think Glove Wu might be A+, but it's hard to tell for me.
Also,
I don't think so.
If you put Cat in A+, I think Hyunwoo should be the same tier as her. Like, you do the same thing on both. You just rat until you find a good pick, you just kill it and go on with your life. Or you can play like Momo does in our in-houses. He just contests Alpha every game for 10 minutes, gets wind on and he's unstoppable. You can't kill him.
Okay,
There are,
so
like,
who here thinks
15 Immortals Hyunwoos.
who here thinks Yanu is actually A+?
Okay.
I actually think Yanu is plus.
Yeah.
Okay, and who thinks he should stay as A?
I
think.
No.
Okay, it seems like most actually wanted him to A+, so let's just put him around the bottom of A+. Okay, I guess we're somewhat in agreement with that, so let's carry on to the next character, which is Aya. We do have a lot of Aya players in EU, they're just not here. Mostly we see her on Pistol lately. We don't really see many AR Ayas. Arcus didn't really play much AR lately. So let's talk about mostly Pistol, because it's what we see the most right now and seems to be most effective, I think. But what do you guys think of Aya's current spot in A?
Well, I don't think she's that particularly scary.
I think Pistol Aya is just a matter of getting early kills and snubbling, but the fact that she can't get early kills as well as other characters, so I legit think the only way to play a Pistol Aya is like just griffing, and I really think like Sniper and AR are actually better than this, and I think AR Aya might be the best version of Aya right now too.
I actually disagree. I think Pistol is the best version. Is actually a really good meta pick. Like, it's actually really, really good against most characters in A+.
Yeah.
Like, you actually beat quite many melees. I think you actually beat basically all melees. You just lose.
I think AR Aya is A+ or something because not AR Aya, Pistol Aya, because the elegance has like 0.1, like 0.15 movement speed. And like when she sees me, I'm just that like they just grief me and run at me.
Yeah, but
Or
the only playstyle of Pistol A is griefing, and when you get in better lobbies, that doesn't really work.
No, it works because like I can't really run away from Pistolaya. Like she moves like so fast because of elegance. Like I don't understand why elegance has like 0.15 movement speed.
She actually runs you down. Yeah, she has pistol skill and E, and like pistol-based movement speed is also insane. She actually can chase basically anyone down. That's why people monkey on you.
This skill gives her movement speed. Also, she can damage me while not losing movement speed with W is insane.
But the thing, the only power of Pistolaya is like griefing early games, but between speed gates and just running away from her, she can't really do anything. Like her dash is on more than 20 seconds in early game. I
Yeah,
don't
but-
see how she can kill people before the time where she just dies to someone else.
I think she can also be very strong.
There's
versus
an AI
melee.
player that doesn't care about speed gates.
Yeah, but he's a monkey, so I don't care about him.
I think she can be strong even late game versus certain melees. Like, for example, I played this matchup a lot on Camilo versus Aya. She just presses W and she walks back. I cannot catch her unless I press D and somehow hit it if she lets me. She just presses W and I die from full HP to 1 W on pistol. So I don't think she's that bad. She can have bad matchups. She can have like half the cast bad matchups, but she's not that bad late game.
Pistol has the advantage of being literally able to contest any Anchi item. Like she can go tree, and then go alpha, and then go tree meteorite or whatever she wants, and she can basically secure anything if she plays well. It's a really good spacing character. If you space well with Qs, you basically can bully anyone off an objective. I mean, the only really bad matchups IMO would be like high range characters like Adela and Hatchet.
The thing on like the objective contest, I'm okay with you if this is 1v1, but objectives aren't always 1v1. There's always a bit of third parties and everything, and IS dash is on a so much long cooldown, and you max it like third, I think, on pistol. So I don't really see how she can get away from those.
You have literally the highest base movement speed because pistol gives 0.15 movement speed. You have pistol skill, which also is like 40% CD boost and reduce your CD by 40% if I'm correct. Like, you have quite a ton of escape, and if people jump on you, you RW.
So my personal
if you
experience
contest
with
an
Aya,
objective, you don't have to commit. You just poke with Q, you max Q, and RW if they jump on you.
my personal experience with Aya, both in NA and EU, is that even though like she seems to have low mobility, she managed to run me down Asua a lot of times, just because she had a lot of movement speed, both from elegance and a million mithril items she probably had, glacial shoes, whatever. And I think like her chance of actually getting those early game snowball items is pretty good, because her early game is also very good. She has a very good chance to grief, get very high weapon mastery, bully some people out of first objectives, and then just troll the lobby. I do agree she doesn't have the best escape, and some like bad matchups probably roll her, but I usually see her doing really well lately. So I would say she's A+. Who else thinks she's A+ here?
Yeah, she's A+ at this middle or something.
I think she would be A+, but we should make another tier like in between S and A+, and put the top characters in A+ in that tier, because otherwise we would have like half the fucking roster in A+.
We did agree though before that about these tiers.
I don't see
I
how
know.
Aya can even rivalize with all the characters in A+. Like, I don't see a fucking world where she's at the same strength level as Eva, as Nadine, as Afghati, as every character in the fucking A+. Like, I don't see how she can be in A+ for sure.
I mean, that's a matter of pilot, though. She's very vulnerable if she gets third party, but that's just having pretty bad RNG, like unlucky, or then just no map awareness whatsoever because they were just busy griefing someone down.
I mean, the thing is, the big issue here is we basically have
Aya
too
is
many
not on same
characters in
tier
A+.
as Yejin.
You have
and
Hatchin and Aya on the same tier, for
Yeah.
instance, and you have Hatchin and Yanwu on the same
like
tier.
Aya can be on same tier as half the characters in A+.
So you guys agree she's fine at just being around the top of A tier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Then let's keep going to the next character, which is Shoichi. We don't see him that much lately in EU, but I do know with his usual AP build, with how it is Maharaja or something like that, like the new dagger, he seems to be really, really strong with it. I think also Heimer played a bunch of him and did really well on him. What do you think? Should he actually be A tier or is he even better?
No, I think he's way better than A tier, to be honest. Like,
I agree.
we all thought he got gutted when he got nerfed, but it turns out he's still fucking really good.
Yeah.
Once you get, like, I don't know, either Mithril Helmet or Halo or Emerald Tablet, you can just run the lobby down with Maharaja. Or Maharaja, however you spell it, yeah. I think he's just really good at dwelling people and getting free kills.
Everyone agrees he should be bumped up to A+, or someone thinks
Yeah.
actually high?
He should be A+, yeah.
Totally.
I agree.
Okay,
Like, he should be at least mid A+, in my opinion.
I would like to know who rated lower.
Actually, me, I misclicked.
But only
I
the
will
Maharaja
a
build.
bit.
Can they actually add an S-
So
tier?
most of the people rated them is A tier, and even some as B+. The amount of people who rated him A+ and S is like around 6, and then many rated him A. So
I put him S.
Yeah. I put him top A.
I think if Maharaja gets gutted, he would be like, I don't know, A, maybe even top of B+, because Amp is just not that good. He just does the things other mages do worse.
Can we actually add an S- tier because we have over 20 characters?
Yes.
We're gonna have everything in A+
Maybe
soon.
we should remove Johan.
It's something we can consider for
we could
next
just
one.
remove
We
that.
did agree on those specific tiers for this one, but maybe we can have even another tier on the next time, or maybe we can even adjust it at the end. But for now, let's keep with this tier and move to the next character, which is Luke. We have a few Luke players that like to spam Amp, and a few that just ride him for the easy ranked points. He did get a lot better lately with his very much cleaner escape with his E. Do you guys think he's fine in A tier? Because a lot of people actually rated him higher.
Do we have Aquilas? I don't think, right?
He's not here, no.
Okay, I think Luke is actually...
He wrote his whole argument in the chat, if you're curious.
Oh. I mean, I agree that he's like one of the best auto attackers. The issue with him is he is like, okay, we have first of all Crit Luke, which is actually, I think, A+, but below Camillo, Crit, Kiara, Jackie, and Fiora. But he's like, other than that, really, really good. The issue is that these auto attack characters are better than him, and Amp is also like quite legit. I would put him at bottom of A+ in this tier list because we have shit like Nadine and Tianwu here in A+. But yeah, he's still a tier worse than Camillo, Kiara, Jackie, and Fiora.
Everyone agrees he should be bumped to the bottom of A+.
Yeah. I mean, if we bump him to the bottom of A+, I really wish for Yanwu, Nadine, Kachi to bump down to A, actually.
Agreed.
I will put him in A as he is right now.
Then maybe just the top of A would be good.
But why are Kathy, Nadine, and Yanwu both in all in A+?
I really don't see why Nadine wouldn't be in A+.
Yeah.
Nadine's
Nadine
always
is
gonna
doing
be
really
there.
well. The only part when she's like actually weak is the mid game, because her early game is still decent, and her late game is like really strong.
I never liked how Nadine's counterplays literally grief her early game. Like, what even is this, man?
Yeah.
So you guys think we should bump Nadine a bit more up in the A+? And then put Luke in the top of A?
I think Luke is A+.
Yeah, Luke is A+.
He's very consistent character.
He's consistent and good character. Yeah.
He's not
Let's do
exactly
something with this.
consistent. He only gets consistent when it gets to mid game, when he has quite a few cameras. But yeah, he's good.
Okay, let's keep going then to the next character after Luke, which is Rio. We have Rakti here who plays her, and we also been invaded by SA lately, and we have Ori spamming her and killing us all on his hyping. She seems to be pretty good right now. What do you think, Rakti? She should be A tier?
Personally, I put it in A+. I just think I primarily focused on a ranked environment instead of other factors, and I think in ranked she'll always be at least A, and because she scales really well into the late game. And if she gets Wick, it's pretty much game over, bar people teaming on you, which happens, but like it's fine. But I think any character that can just farm the whole game and be on base build and just win has to be A+. And Rio right now can literally sit
So
on base build,
true.
farm, get Wick, and win. I think the only thing that keeps her from being S tier is the fact that a lot of characters in A+ and S pretty much just delete her and if they see her. So like shit like Daniel or Jackie,
Me.
if they see you, even with quick items, you're just dead, right? But I think realistically, in a ranked environment, you get free wicks a lot of the time, even though we meme on it a lot. And she's very consistent for climbing, so she's probably A+.
Everyone agrees? She should be actually A+?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like me.
Let's
Why do we
get
put
our,
everything in A+?
Let's get our third
I
slot in A+.
understand that it looks weird,
third
but
line.
what's the problem with having multiple characters in A+?
It's
I
it's
think
over
the
it's
meta is
over
just
half
very
the
close.
cast an A+, and
Game is balanced.
it's
Fuck.
slightly above average.
A
And-
plus characters in A plus or characters are currently strong, more about like the average line, and maybe like might even need a nerf. I think it's fine that there is like a lot of characters there. It just means that the game is in an alright kind of state if there is a lot of character in A plus, A and B plus, while the other tiers are like the extremes. So I think this personally fine, but we can obviously in the next roundtables do even another slot or maybe.
But isn't like most things balanced if it's like equally strong?
If everything is OP, everything is balanced, just like in Smite.
Okay.
I think characters in A tier balance each other
I really
out.
think Yunu and Getty shouldn't be in A+, but
I think everyone that says Kathy isn't A+ is coping, because in ranked, that's just not real.
Okay, check her stats. Let's check her ranked stats real quick.
I don't care about her win rates or something. Like, you can get a kill and then red to second place for LP. Like, this is a ranked tier
This
list,
is
and
a
the
ranked
fact
tier
that you
list.
can just kill someone and then red to second place means you can climb automatically.
Yes, but listen, at the same time, I agree with you. She's like very good in ranked. But at the same time, we're not rating characters only by ranked, because then Camilo would be S, and he's not at the moment.
Yeah, he's going to be moving
I
up.
mean,
As we
half the
discussed.
characters that are in
should
A
be up
plus
then.
should be us.
Yeah, as of right now, don't look as A plus as like Daniel being equal to Luke. Kind of look at like the few lines we have in A plus. Like I think it's very much matters which line you're at. But let's get to the next character, so it won't take too long, which I believe is Akion. A character that used to be known as the worst character until he got some buffs recently and he started being playable. I think a few of us here started spamming him, especially Eimer. What do you guys think of his current stage? Should he actually be A?
I
He's
think
really
I'm like the
fucking good.
only Ekion player in EU, but yeah, I think he's like extremely good right now. He's so
Yeah.
good for ranked, it's almost unbelievable. You can literally farm your game up to like minute 15. If you get any RNG, you can be unstoppable. You can contest second tree just fine. He's very strong right now. I think I would put him maybe at least mid A+. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
It's
you can tell me.
move Aikion next to Lennox. It's fine.
I think he's better than Jackie right now. Look up.
He is really fucking good, especially Black
Yeah,
Mamba
very
version.
Who
I think
thinks
the
he should
biggest
be?
buff to him was the D cooldown. Like, he has no downtime right now.
Who thinks
Yeah,
he
he has
should
no
be in?
downtime.
Who thinks he should be in A tier and not A plus? No one. Okay, then I guess he should be in A plus. Yet another one.
I also think EU doesn't have maybe enough experience to rate him. So
Do you guys think this is a good spot? Should it maybe
I think if Anot or Raidkira were here, I think they could give better opinions on him. But this is an EU roundtable, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then let's keep going. The next character is Felix. He is still a bit new, and I think a lot of players are still figuring him out, but we do have Gonzo is not sure if he's spamming him, and obviously Yujiro. What do you think? Should he be an A tier? I know a lot of people think she's actually A+.
Well, the thing is, Felix is basically a worse Dalin, but he is still really, really strong. If you compare him to Dalin, which is, I think, very appropriate, you could say that he is better at killing people early than Dalin, but at the same time, he falls off harder than Dalin and does not really scale well, aka he loses games. So his gameplay is basically really based on the Korean path, which is crafting 3 weapons and then contesting objectives and snowballing early by running people down because your mobility is absolutely stupid. So basically, I think he is way, way stronger than Leon right now. AKA, he is A+, like, between Chen and Leon.
Do you guys agree? Or should he stay A tier?
Oh, he should be higher. That's
He
for
should
sure.
be higher, yeah.
Yeah, he should be higher.
Yeah, he should be higher. Annoying prick.
I think he's like top of A+.
Okay,
Not
a lot of
new.
people did not rate him. I guess it's because he's a bit still unknown as being new, but I guess we can put him somewhere here.
I will put him in the same strength level as Shoichi, yeah.
Okay, then I guess we can keep going to a character that used to be really, really good, but lately seems to a bit fallen off, which is Jenny. We've all been one-shotter by her before, or just killed her after she failed the one-shot. I know Eimer knows a lot about Jenny, used to be a big Jenny player. Do you think she's currently in A tier, or maybe even lower?
Honestly, I'm not even playing Jenny anymore, like almost at all. But I heard she's still decent, not the greatest now. Her amp build is way worse, and I hear most people are playing AA now, right now, like auto attack. But I'm really not sure. I think we should move on from champions that aren't being played like at all in our regions, to be honest, so we don't take up that much time.
So you guys are fine with her just being around mid A tier?
Yeah,
That's
seems okay.
fine.
Yeah.
And Jenny is another one of those champions that everyone and their mother plays it when she's OP, but then gets dropped by everyone when she gets nerfed.
Okay, let's keep going then to William, a character we actually do see plenty in EU, both with Baldi and Hammett. I'm not sure if Hammett is still here, but they're usually somewhat fine. Sometimes they even kill the trick, which is a great accomplishment. But I usually have rather easy time with them. Do you think they're A tier? I think A tier is a good spot.
A tier is fine, I think.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah, I
really
agree with
balanced.
A tier.
If in good
He should
hands,
be-
he can pop off really hard. If you don't, if you're not good hands, then it's not that great. But he's pretty good. I think he's balanced. Of one of the most balanced characters in the game, actually.
Yeah, for sure. But I think he should be a bit higher than Etapan, actually. Just on the top of A tier. I don't think he's worse than Bernice in any way.
You guys are fine with moving him a bit up to A tier?
Yeah.
We
Put him like here.
There.
Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done with the A tier. We're now with Jukai. We do have a few Jukai players in the EU. Chuchi plays him, but he's not here. But we do have Chill that kind of started second minigame. What do you think of Jukai current state, Chill?
I think A is quite alright. He still has a lot of damage, but against most matchups, he has to land full combo. And landing full combo without using a bush or just some sort of vision gap is often quite hard. And if you do miss it, you're fucked.
But just press R and kill them anyway.
Sorry, what did you say?
Just press R and kill them anyway.
That used to work, but it doesn't really. Unless you're Heart or something like Aya. I mean, Heart has no chance, so that's my favorite matchup. But it's just not the case anymore where you can just dry R people, even with Skadi. So I think A is quite alright, because he's still, in my opinion, it's the same as Tonfa Hyungwoo, where you have a lot of damage, but you need a bit of a specific angle to be able to use all of it.
Everyone here agrees? Should he just stay in Aether?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we can move on to our favorite swordsman, Yuki. We have a lot of Yuki players lately. Mostly people spamming DS. I know Longsword is a bit more rare. People don't pick it up randomly. But we do have both Rogue and Danny, who plays a lot of Yuki. Danny, could you say if you should be an A tier? Maybe even, I know some people rated him lower.
I think he should be in B+ tier.
Hard agree.
Yuki.
If you're talking about 200 Yuki though, DS Yuki is still good.
Don't listen to these 200 players.
I don't think they are good.
I think we should talk about the.
Yeah, we should rate the best version of him.
Best.
So if you're saying
Yeah.
the dual sword is better, then let's talk about dual sword.
I mean, I think they are on basically the same level, but I guess DS is a bit better because it can actually get early kills. But neither 2H or DS Yuki are good. Like, DS Yuki either gets some kills early and then dies late unless he somehow gets 10 transitions, or he just dies early. And that's it. Like, he's a lot worse version of any other snowballer in the game.
I agree.
Like, only thing keeping Yuki out of C tier is Diamond Shard right now.
Yes, especially because DS being the better build, it also relies more on Diamond Shard than 2H. So like his better build relies on Diamond Shard. But even that only puts him in B+, in my opinion. There is no way Yuki doesn't need at least some slight buffs. That's why he's at
Yuki
least
really needs some changes or rework.
So everyone here fine with him being maybe at the bottom of A tier?
Yeah.
If Adriana is A tier, I think Yuki should be there too. To be honest.
I think Yuki should be B tier, like
no.
B+ tier.
Okay, so who here thinks he
Maybe
should
for
be at the top of B+?
Me, because I wanted to be back.
Sure, I'm sure.
Mains only.
Okay, it seems to be a bit half the parents, so let's just keep him at the bottom of A for now. And get to it, the next character, which is Adriana. We barely see her lately in EU. Most Adri players either stop playing her or stop playing the game in general. But she is a bit better than the horrible state she used to be in. What do you guys think? Actually A tier or maybe B+?
Maybe ask Yuang for this. In KR, the Adriana players.
You see them from time to time. I think she's just solid early game. If she gets to snowball, she can chase kills. Yeah. Yeah, but I think she's slightly harder to play, so not many people play her.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of Adrianas have a lot of kills, but I almost never see her ending games anymore, like winning them.
Yeah, I think she's just fine.
Guess we don't have that much.
Triana was always where we relied on getting Vic to win games. It never changed.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's move along to the next tier, which is B+, led by Zaire. Again, a character we don't see much. We used to have some Zaire players that just stop. I know Perm, I think, played a bit lately, but not ranked, so it's hard to say. Do you guys think Zaire is actually B+?
It's actually interesting. I think Zahir is actually good, but really hard to play. Like nowadays, you actually play mostly a squishy build, and you need to hit your ER, like your E, and the full combo within like 0.5 seconds, or you just lose. But if you do that, it's like he's actually really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of characters like
I
Zahir
think he's
as
at
well,
least A.
in B+, they cannot be rated by EU because we just don't have players for them. Like,
I mean,
nobody plays Zahir in EU.
I played like 3 games of Zahir on my Smurf, and I actually won 2, I think. Wow, I mean, he's actually really good.
So, who here thinks he should actually be low A tier?
I think it would be A+.
I think it should be A.
He should be A, yep.
Okay, let's put him then in the middle of A tier, let's say.
Like, sure, we don't have any consistent Zahir main and ranked right now, but like Uvabu has been playing Zahir a lot lately. I've seen Trick on Zahir, and I think that Zahir suffers from problems. and that keep him from being A+ or even S tier. But he isn't weak, I think. If you buff any buff to him would be going overboard.
Just
I
like
wanted to
Nitapon.
say his initial rating was B+ because I think a lot of people voted for I don't know, and then the few people who voted for B+, they got counted as more as the other people.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to have Tornado that used to play a lot.
Yeah,
But he wasn't that good. Like, he was fine.
He
He
started
was like
getting
gold
a lot
4 at his
better,
peak with over
but he
100
stopped.
games. But like, Emma is actually so interesting. Why do people place her in B+?
Okay, then let's get going, as EG said, to Emma. We do see a bit of Emma. Mostly it's more around Pislow. The Emma player seems to struggle with climbing, which is maybe why she's B+. Do you guys think she's maybe a bit higher?
I think she's A+.
A+? No way.
I don't know
Not
about
gonna
that
lie.
one.
I
don't know about that.
I think people can have varying opinions on Emma because I think she has the same problem as Aiden. Like, she's
If
really
you play
strong in
melee, she's A+, I
1v1s,
got
but
it.
you can always just walk away.
Yeah,
Yes,
just walk away.
she has a good. She should have really good win rate, and she has Dead Wound right now. Dead Wound is fucking broken. Like, a friend of mine who's actually, I think, next to AC the best, Cicella Katinas, literally said that even Cicella is like A+ right now, and Emma's literally better than Cicella. Like, if you play Cicella perfectly right now, she's really, really good. But everybody who plays Cicella in ranked environment is actually dog shit. I'm very bad at her.
I think everyone would put Emma on a different tier just because you can have different opinions on her.
She can abuse that one really, really well at the moment. Like, really well. And if you don't kill people unless they commit on you, but if you play it properly and scale into late game, you are literally so fucking cancer in final zones. You can even build traps. Nobody knew ever did that though, so
I feel like
people
there
in
is
EU don't have their opinions.
I feel like though there is
Also,
a
you
lot
can
of
one-shot combo people.
there is a lot of other characters right now, I think, that are better on the game style of like, yeah, I'm not gonna get any kills early game, but I always in final zones. Like, she does have some losing matchups, and she can escape from most situations, but usually when I see her in final zones, she's a bit struggling. But what do you guys think? Should we maybe bump her to A tier?
No.
The question I ask myself is, what is the losing matchup for her?
Any range.
Maybe AR, I'm not even sure.
And a better mage. Just
Pretty
fucks
much
her up.
any range. Any range. Honestly,
Any
like,
range.
anyone can just walk away from her.
You don't need to.
But that doesn't mean she loses the matchup if they can walk away.
I think that like two bad matchups, and it's like Hatchin and Eva. And
But
Trio.
Sylvia is good into Emma
And
as well.
Bianca. Bianca also.
Me too.
Laura.
Bianca?
Laura is pretty good against.
Yeah, Laura is also a good matchup. Into Emma.
But like,
also pretty
sure she just also good.
So Huir is fine with her just being on the top of B+.
Yeah,
she can be B+.
Okay, then let's get going to the next character. Finally, a character that I've been playing a lot recently, which is Tia. Tia's rankings have been very odd. Like, a lot of people put her in A+, and a lot of people even put her in C or B. So that's how she kind of got around to the average amount of B+. I do think, as someone who played a lot of Tia recently, that she is B+, but in certain situations, if everyone was cracked at her, as much as one of the tier players in care, she could be A. Just because I feel like she has a very, very high skill ceiling, and once players actually get to it, she can do a lot. I did place her personally in B+, because I don't see myself ever getting that good in her, and so far I haven't seen anyone aside from that one KR player. But if we do rate it by the best pilot, then I think she might be A tier. What do you guys think?
Yeah, she's A.
I think,
like really good A.
I think Tia is
Bike linker myself.
plus tier.
Hello?
Even reviewing that character is so bullshit because you can't switch her. Like, it's so bullshit, man. Like, she blues me, yellows me, like, repeatedly. I can't get close. Root, silence, heal, runs away. So funny.
I mean, if you play Aiden, I can see why you think like that, man.
Yeah.
I think she's fine as A.
Yeah, B
she's
plus
A,
is
definitely.
bullshit. This character is
Yeah,
way better than B plus.
Yeah,
I don't know
she's
what
A.
you guys were smoking when you made this tier list.
It's
I
hard for
actually
me.
put her in B plus. I'm sorry.
It's hard for me to
She's
put
A.
her in A plus or S, just because her kill pressure is very low. Usually, if she dashes in, she kind of seals her fate unless it's a range and she already won. So usually she can't really just dash in. Her escape isn't really good, and she kind of relies on you just giving her blue range. And yeah, a lot of characters can actually avoid blue range, and they have to kind of run away from her or find a way to third party her. She does a good amount of winning matchups. But I do think her kill pressure is kind of low, and so I think late game other cars kind of scales better than her, but I can definitely see a really good tier player consistently getting 1-2 kills early mid, and then in final zone if she has good transitions, even making the melee uninstall the game. So you guys fine with putting her in A?
Yeah.
Higher than Natapon
Yeah,
at least.
we should put her at this A plus, Dylan. Come on.
Okay, so as a little bit of a less copium take, with Yuki, who can like actually dash in on Tia twice and follow her around for a dash. If you can catch, make her use her E once and then follow her, then she's done so. Because if you get close enough,
She has this skill.
Yeah,
and
just
she
dodge
can-
it.
But that's the thing. Even if you,
even
if you manage to avoid this skill and her ult, when she is, it's not like she just is. A good tier in theory should always hit it because it's kind of instant. Like the second she uses it, if you're at her or behind her, you will get hit. And if you are at melee versus her, she can just do a melee yellow, which isn't really dodgeable at melee range, and then into red dash, so you're silenced. And you can't really use your dash ability right away, and she can blue you. And now not only you lost half your HP and she healed a bit because of Vampiric, you're also just about to get snared if you wait a few more seconds and then ulted. So I feel like a really good tier, even if you get on top of her, as long as she plays her colors right, she can still fuck you up.
Put her into A plus.
Like if you are melee and you're not Fiora, you can't touch Tia. Like it's annoying. It's plus tier, man.
I'm fine with that. A plus.
Okay, let's put her for now at A, but who thinks she's A plus actually?
I think she should be at this low A plus.
Once
Seriously.
people learn her, she's gonna be A plus for sure.
But do you guys think she should be A for now?
Yeah, I don't think she's close to A plus, to be honest.
Like she's fine for now, but she's really close to being A plus, especially once people learn her.
Okay, then let's put her just a bit higher in the A slot. And move to the next character, which is Rosie. A lot of people said that Rosie is actually really good in this current very high melee meta. Just because she wins most melee matchups, but she did have a bit of issues lately. Anyone here wants to start talking about Rosie? Should she be actually B plus?
Not gonna lie, I think some melees are so strong right now that they can literally just stat check her.
I think she's good where she is right now.
Mhm.
Like she insta loses versus every ranged, or like 90% of ranged, and even melee she can't really win against them, and she needs to snowball to even get good placements. So I don't think she is that good right now, and she should stay where she is.
She's either win the lobby or die 18th character.
And even you can't really win the lobby, so it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I was about to say that I don't think that Rosie's snowballing is really that good. She's pretty much just weak against everything at the moment. Because she's supposed to be like a melee counter, but even melee is just survive
Like,
her
even
burst
Yuki
and
beats
everything
Rosie.
and just click her. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I meant in the beginning.
But even if she gets going, like that's her problem, she can get shut down by almost anything
I
in the
think she
game.
needs a buff right now, so B plus is fine for me.
Okay, everyone agrees with the B plus then?
Yeah, I think Rosie is weak.
Yeah, let's carry on then. The next character, it's another character we barely see at the moment in EU. It's Nikki. I think Turtle sometimes plays her, but we more see him on Barbara. I know Danny is not bad on Nikki, but I'm not sure if he plays her that much recently. Do you guys think B plus is a good spot?
Yeah. She needs buffs.
I think she should actually be on the B tier. I don't think she even rivalizes the characters in B. Like she does. There's no way she's better than Emma. There's no way she is even better than Sisala or Elena. There's no way.
I mean, Sisala is not weak at all.
Yeah, that's.
She's hella annoying to play against, I can attest for that, and one of the doomed matchups for Kiara.
I mean, I think Nikki is either balanced, or I think she's balanced. I don't think she needs anything.
Yeah, I don't think she needs buffs. She's kind of in a decent spot.
Like her kit is really toxic for solos to work well.
I
Like,
think
she will either be bad or do good or toxic.
I
in a way.
wish she doesn't get buffed, but I think she should need one.
Yeah.
Okay, so who thinks she should actually be on the bottom of A tier?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No. What?
Wait, A tier.
Well, why not?
Okay, it seems like it's no. Then I guess she stays in B plus. I think she's
The
in
bottom of B plus tier, maybe.
Everyone thinks bottom of B plus.
Probably.
Let's put her like here.
Are we talking about post nerf?
We're talking about current Nikki.
Yeah,
because I don't think anyone knows how strong she is because no one played her since the nerfs. Or did they? Because
Do you have any like perspective? If you did see like a really good Nikki player show you how she's done?
No, because I've only seen Turtle and he played Nikki before the nerfs actually happened, so I can't say anything.
Then Gen X or Yang, did you guys see? What do you guys think about Nikki? Is she good?
I just don't see Nikki's in NA.
Same with you.
Yeah, that character, I guess.
Yeah, do you see any Nikki's?
I think Nikki is just B plus. I don't think she's very good. She's good like early punishing people who don't have their full builds, cause her cooldowns early is really short. Yeah.
The one thing I wonder actually is KCW scary to fight?
The thing is, I'm playing on 100 ping, so I can't really tell you. So
I
like
see.
the parry timing.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get going. Seems like none of us really see that much of Nikki to rate her most accurately, but we do see lately, even though she's new, a lot of Elena. Everyone's been trying to pick her up, pull her out of the dumpster and make her look good. Some manage, some do not. I know here Danny and Arcas played a good amount of them. Did you guys want to talk about why she's B plus, or maybe why she should be higher or lower?
You wanna talk first, Danny?
Yeah, you can talk first.
Okay, then I really think she should be like right behind William. She's a good A. Like she's really good at escaping. She can basically choose her fights, and she has a really good early game power in terms of just one-shotting squishes. And I don't think she snowballs that hard. Or I don't think she can even win lobbies. But I really think she has the potential to gain ALP pretty easily. Even though I don't think she will be great in tournaments. So I think she's a solid A. A solid A since she can just choose fights and gain free LP every game by escaping or getting free kills in early game. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with her being in A, but I don't think she's that bad at winning games. Especially after I saw that clip of G-Work doing that to a Jackie, which I know is just one player doing it, but I think that build has a lot of potential, and I should try it because I haven't yet, because I've been playing ESD. But yeah, I think she's an A. Actually, she doesn't really need buffs, especially because people still need to figure her build out.
Yeah.
Anyone here who thinks she shouldn't be an A and stay in B plus? Guess not. It's still a bit hard to tell with how she's doing new, so I guess it makes sense we listen to the people who've been spamming her lately.
In terms of rank, she also has really great politics. Like, you can't engage on her as a melee because she will freeze you, and then the third party will just kill you in the 3-second freeze.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask what does politics mean?
Third party.
Third party in final zone,
like,
you know.
If you have good politics, that means that the third party will not go for you, usually.
Oh, okay.
And people won't want to engage you because they know that the third party will attack you instead of the good politics character.
Okay.
Like, you don't want to engage Axna because nobody will attack her. They will attack the frozen target for free.
The thing is, I think next patch she will be S tier because Nimble Moron tends to overbuff new characters when they don't see success early. So she will be S tier next patch and will get gutted after.
Yeah, if she gets a damage buff, if she gets a damage buff, then for sure she's gonna be like on top of A plus or just A plus in general. Like she's I think currently she's good and she doesn't need a buff at all. We just need to figure out our build and routes properly for now.
I think it's funny that's like the first character whose route didn't get figured out like anytime soon.
But the thing is, buff routes can actually be played. Like the AP stack and the ESD builds are both playable right now, and I kind of prefer the ESD one, but seeing G-Walk playing the AP stack build and doing good on it makes me wonder if both are just playable and there is no better one actually.
Probably AP stack is better.
Okay, let's keep going then. After Elena, we have Magnus, another character we don't see very often, but we can still get randomly picked when someone doesn't have a second main in a tournament and then just want a rat. Do you guys think you should stay in B+?
I think so. It's actually so funny. I played him recently in duos when I played all random duos with my friend. I remember playing him back when he was broken and he dealt more than double the damage than he does now. He's actually kind of playable because of the shitty Pakua weapon or whatever. Because his W deals double damage when you slow somebody and your W slows due to the weapon and Quimwa. So I think he's weak. He deals like no damage, but he's still K-ish. I guess he's B+.
Everyone agrees? I also think Pakua is really good. Okay, we also don't see him very much, so hard to get the best opinion. But let's get going on everyone's favorite C-tier character that needs buffs, Cicella.
I think Cicella is actually good.
Our usual Cicella players, or at least the best one we see in EU, doesn't really play that often and isn't here. I know you picked her up a bit, so can you say like what do you think of her current place in B+?
I mean, when I play Cicella, I'm minting because I don't really... You need to play exactly, completely, perfectly, otherwise you die. You legit just die if you do a single mistake and you have bad matchups and you scale poorly. I mean, you don't scale poorly.
Sounds like Nidapon. Put her in A.
No, she actually doesn't scale poorly, but you need to contest objectives because that's her strongest point. And Defum actually makes her playable right now. Like, Defum is actually really good. My friend who actually plays this said she's A+ in his opinion, in a tier list where he placed like only less than 15 characters as an A+. But I think she's a worse Emma at the same time.
So,
it's so weird.
Who here thinks she should actually be bumped to A tier?
Yes, I can agree with that. I think she should be C. Yeah. I think she's actually unplayable in buff Cs, please.
Obviously.
I think Emma's better than her, but both should be A.
Then let's get her to A tier, but remember that she's actually C tier in our minds.
But what about Emma?
Please actually later stay in B+ tier. There's no way she's A tier.
Oh, she's A tier. I think she's really balanced right now. I don't think she's...
I think Emma's better than her.
I really don't think Emma's better.
I also think she's better.
I think Emma can be better at Final Zone, but like that's it. Everything else is just way better for Cicella, in my opinion.
Can escape.
Yeah, I think Cicella has a kill. I think Cicella has an easier time finishing off a kill than Emma, by far.
But she has like 10 times the chances of dying at anything.
Yes, but Cicella has self-build while Emma has mobility to run away. So if you land your E, for example, not many characters can actually follow you and chase you down.
On Cis, if you land E on somebody.
Seems like we're not really sure, so let's just put her currently next to Emma in the bottom of A tier, while Emma is in the top of B+.
The thing is, if we put her in A, then she won't get buffs. I want Both Cs.
No, the list is incorrect, and we didn't play so well. She should be in C tier. But
That makes both playable. That's the funny part. It's
Honestly?
literally an item diff.
You want to hear my hot take? Johan is B tier.
we'll get
That's so
to...
true.
A lot of
Never.
people
I
placed
never.
him in B
Actually
tier,
agree
but
with
most in C
I agree
tier.
with this.
No,
I
I
have
think
something
it's
to
an
say
overkill.
about Jochen later.
But
it's so funny.
let's keep going. We did Cicela, and now we get to Isol. We do have an Isol player that plays everything but Isol usually, but personally, I think I don't see much pistol isolating, but I still think AR Isol can get a good amount of kills. Not to be B+, maybe be more like A. What do you think, Bobo?
I mean, I think AR ISOL is totally fine. Like, they keep buffing the Q, which does not make any sense, because it's like the only ability they keep buffing, and it does not need any fucking buffs. Like, pistol is unplayable because of the W nerf. And it was already pretty weak before they added Red Sprite into the game, but then, you know, they nerfed W again, and they made it unusable. And then they fixed it, and then they deleted it after. So
Then they removed ESD.
yeah, they removed the playstyle basically, and then they nerfed also the amount of traps you can make. So you get less weapon mastery, which is not very important on pistol, but you still need to make traps, and other characters use traps better.
But shouldn't we rate
true.
AR
Yeah.
ISO? Because AR is his better weapon.
Yeah, I would bump him up one tier if we are rating by AR.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
gonna
I mean,
rate
it
by
should
the
be-
best character, the best weapon
Yeah,
type.
I think AR is Isol is actually better than AR Aya.
I don't think it is, because Aya
How?
has way more survivability than ISOL.
Yeah.
ISOL has more raw damage because of Q.
Yeah, I think
but
AR
Aya's
ISOL
survivability is
kill
way
pressure.
better.
I think AR ISOL kill pressure is pretty good. I think usually if you get people with your Q and kind of vision check them a bit, there is a good chance they just die. So everyone here agrees he should be bumped to A tier, as we are rating him by AR, which is the strongest form right now.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll move it back.
I just see everyone running him down, so I won't say anything actually.
Okay, I guess that's it with Isol. Let's get going to the last character in B+, which is Chloe. A bit of an upset. A lot of people put her in B tier, yet some still put her in A tier, which bumped her up to B+. What do you guys think? I usually run them down every time I see them because she seemed really weak. And I play Tia, and I think Tia destroys her. So what do you guys think? Staying in B+, or maybe even lowering?
B+.
I think B+
needs
is
both.
fine.
Yeah, B+ is fine. Even
B+
as
is fine.
Ilina, I just run Chloe down, so...
Same for Laura. Like, Laura's biggest weakness are ranged basic attackers, but I can just run down Chloe because Nina has no HP. So basically her ult is useless.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this
I
sounds
really
like a
think she's
B-tier angle for me. I think anyone can run her down. That sounds like
Yeah.
B-tier for me.
Yep.
Okay, so who
Fair enough.
thinks she should bump down to B tier?
Me.
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, and who thinks she should stay in B+? Okay, seems like above, like kind of high B tier seems to be somewhat fine. That's also what I rated her personally. I never really saw much of a situation I'm afraid of unless I'm playing So, and I think it's because So just has a bad matchup and is even worse. But let's keep going, we're not at So yet. The next character is Mai. You can notice a bit of a theme in the characters in the bottom of the list. They seem to have a damage problem. I know Danny used to play a lot of Mai and likes Mai, just that she isn't very good. What do you think of her current state, Danny?
Mai is useless. She gets 3 or she dies. That's it.
So
But
true.
It's pretty good if she gets 3, but she doesn't have good matchups at 3.
I've coached a lot of
Agree.
my players, and I think Mai suffers from the problem that her kit revolves around basic attacking your enemy a lot, but her weapon doesn't provide her with the basic attack amplification necessary to make her chest pieces that aren't the burning dress. I mean, the ghost jacket or whatever it's called.
Phantom jacket.
Yeah, like they don't provide enough damage that you can consider any of her basic attack builds. So you need to go the blazing jacket, but it's just not enough damage to make up for her lack of damage through auto attacks.
No, I mean, if she does get Phantom Jackie, she's pretty good. But the thing is, like, it's hard to get on her because she doesn't really win that many matchups at 3s.
Yeah, she's an RNG-based character who's really bad at fighting at objectives.
Yeah, because she's not good before getting the objective. Like, she's one of the worst characters on base build, I think.
Yeah, my
I agree.
isn't really good. I agree.
Actually, could use some buffs.
Yeah,
it seems like a good contender for a bit here. I guess we can carry on to the next character, which is Sua. And unlike some of the other characters in the lower tiers, Sua used to be high and mighty in S tier, but she got a bit too big of a nerf from Nimble Neuron, who didn't probably know how to fix her. So they have their passive damage. In theory, it sounds fine, right? Sua hits her abilities, she wins. But it's the only reliable damage source, and apparently even if she does hit her abilities, she most times won't win, because her damage is just a bit too low right now, and early and mid-game, she will just run out of cooldowns before killing most people, unless it's like a really squishy ranged character. And even then, she still needs to hit most of her skill shots and play the match really, really well. So I feel like currently she has a kind of a broken game style, because her only way to win or to do anything in the game is to rat until late game, which she can still do. She has pretty good escape. And then get RNG pieces and hope that the matchups are somewhat well. But the problem is that a lot of other characters also struggle with how do I get to late game with RNG pieces while not contesting anything, because I'm weak early and mid. And I think some of the other characters are strong without RNG, but Sua without RNG versus any character right now, even late game, will usually lose, I think. What do you guys think? She should maybe be a bit higher? She's still Sua.
I think this might be B+ tier, because I don't think Sua is worse than Mai.
I don't know how she ended up down there, but a little bit higher is fine.
I think. B+ is fair.
As the other Sua enjoyer at this table, I think B+ is probably feasible. I don't think she's quite at the level of Chloe and Mai.
Yeah.
But she's definitely been struggling. I've been losing to right-click Fiora after hitting all of my skills, blinding her for like 2 seconds, and I still got just right-clicked, even though the pacifist still know of my abilities.
Yeah,
It's
a bit of a hard matchup to talk about. I also got the same treatment when I fought against Timoro, and I managed to avoid every stun of his. I dodged most of his kit, but he just right-clicked me, and it proved to be way better than my abilities, even though they hit him. But it is kind of a hard matchup. Sua can't really blind the Fiora because she kind of has to protect herself from the stuns, but if she's protected from the stuns, she's eating all that basic attack damage. But, so who you think she should be bumped up to B+?
Me.
Yes.
Me. Yes.
I think she should
Yeah,
be
high. Yeah, A or high.
Not balanced, no. I think she needs more of a damage on her abilities before bumping her up to A.
Yeah.
Anyone thinks she should maybe...
Have you guys seen the superior
She's
games
deserved
in
B+.
A?
That's all of the late game Sua. Yeah, I have seen the video. It's like late game Sua that we already talked about is still decent.
Yeah.
Like, I've looked at all the clips, and it's like all of them are level 15, level 16, level 17, level 18, but none of them are like early game, early mid game, which is really copium.
She's not as weak as these the other ones like Emma and Rossi. There's no way that Sua is as weak as those.
She is.
In terms of like like she gets LP. Like there's no denying that.
The thing is, like, she does have some kind of problematic part, which is, even though she has a pretty good escape and definitely good ratting, her mobility is deniable in some sorts. If she does get caught up by most melees, they can kind of disable most of her mobility. I'm not saying she will always die if she gets cut by a melee, but her mobility is stoppable, and some characters can very well shut her down and catch her. And even if she does Rajam into late game, I feel like she has still not a great late game. Like, the only thing that happens in late game is she can actually kill people again, because once her cooldown are low enough, she can auto attacks anytime she wants. She isn't like stopped at 5 or 6 auto attacks per fight because she runs out of skills, so she can just keep going. And if it's a good matchup and her W kind of shuts down the opponent's offense, she might win late game. And if she has good transitions, she might still be really tanky while having good DPS. So I do see her as B+, but I wouldn't think she can be near A tier. Her playstyle is kind of broken. Again, as I said before, I think she needs RNG stuff to actually win last zones, and even if she does get them, she's still usually losing because she has a lot of bad matchups.
Okay, one thing I consider meme argument by now is it needs RNG to win final zone. Everybody says that.
Every character needs RNG in this game.
I mean, just for the rating, I will rate her A tier.
I wouldn't like.
You said you would put Johan on B tier.
Yeah, I would put Johan on B tier. I would put Sua on B+ tier.
Guys, Johan is very viable. I can show you a replay at the end of the roundtable to prove that he's viable in high elo Korea. This is insane.
No, but if we speak about the bomb thing on Johan, then I don't see why it should be even in the TL. It's like it's not so it's a solo pick and it shouldn't be there in the first place.
So
did you see that before? Did you see
I would
that
like to
before?
point out, by the way, for a tier list based off of rank and on climbing, a character that is capable of running around the game, ratting, regaining health, and not dying till late game, who also has the highest average rank in the live top 1000 right now, number 1 of 65 with the average rank of 4.7. I think it's worth noting that character might actually not be the worst character in the game at climbing if you're getting consistent high placements through traps.
Just
I have to check
connection.
something.
The
Let me
best
check
Johan
if-
has 15% win rate, okay?
Let me check
In
if Johan
200
has
games.
higher average kills than Kathy right now.
No, he
I mean,
doesn't. He has
no.
Oreo,
Okay,
just
you're a higher
remove
goal.
it.
I think
to put Johan at a C tier
Okay,
of
he doesn't.
unplayable, while the character is the highest average rank in top 1000, I think does not make sense. Even if the character fundamentally might have one of the weakest kits in the game.
So why
he has 24? He has actually 8% win rate. That's 3 times of Kathy.
Yeah,
almost.
but at the same time, he has like 0.2 peak rate. You can't even talk about
so.
that.
Why
No, there's one guy who has
does that matter,
15%
though?
win rate.
I think with such a low pick rate, you can't really judge based on stats. Like there needs to be at least.
No, you need to see a meme replay to judge him and see how retarded Korea is.
So who here thinks John should stay at C tier?
No.
I think we should bump it to B, but not.
I think you bump to B.
I really don't see why. Like, okay, he can rat, but he can literally never get a kill if the enemy has like half a brain. You cannot kill anybody on Johan.
You can get kills.
You cannot
kill
kill anybody with those smart bombs. No.
No, I find it so funny.
I want to see a replay to see like these
Okay, I can
people
show
being
you.
absolute monkeys. I just don't see it. Johan cannot defend his traps.
I can show
He
you.
can at best get rooted in one
Johan
trap, walk out.
Got it
Maybe
open.
he wins on timer because you have
yeah,
to clear
you win
the
on timer.
traps.
You win
That's
on
it.
timer.
But getting
And
0
that
kills
is still
is
a
not
win
good for
condition.
climbing.
Join stream, I can show you.
I've had plenty of placements with third placement.
Also, Johan can kill
0
early
kills,
game.
0 LP.
It is
You're not gonna. It's not good.
It is also worth noting, just as a last thing on Johan, by the way, this is more of a semantics thing in a tier, because I think that it is not arguable that Johan is one of the worst characters in solos. Just objectively, he is one of the worst characters in solos. The kit is not built for solos. The only way to play Johan properly and get any sort of results is by ratting, building traps all game, and going for timer. It's not like an Isol or Barber who could technically snowball and win off killing people. No, Johan has to win off of timing people out with traps. That being said, there is, by stats, even if it is a low pick rate, there are stats that show that Johan is a playable character in top 1000 and can get high average placings, which on a global scale means that he is capable of climbing. To put him in the C tier, which says literally under the C, unplayable, I think is objectively wrong, because you can play the character and get MMR. That's my argument for Johan being a B tier.
What?
Yep.
So just to put things into perspective, we're gonna decide if Johan should actually be on the bottom of B tier. I think there is no discussion that he's the worst character right now, or like, so the discussion is it bottom of B tier or C tier, unplayable or just very very weak. Personally, I think he is unplayable because
hot take. He's better than May. He's better than May.
I think the other characters are less gonna get run down. I think he's the most juicy fruit on Lumia Island, that every matchup that can catch him will just take him as a free reward. He probably even has some traps for you. And
you can't catch him, that's the problem.
I think there is a lot of characters that has a good time catching and killing him. So who here thinks he should be actually better?
Me.
I think
he
he
should
I
be
think so.
B+ or something.
I think we need to watch the replay before judging. Okay?
No, we don't, Yu-Gi-Oh.
We still have
Okay.
another other topics to just the tier list.
And who here thinks who should stay in C tier?
Me.
I think he should stay. He's
I
unplayable.
agree with C tier.
C tier.
Okay, it seems to be a bit half-half. So I guess we keep him where he is. It's the easier solution. The numbers put him there on their decision.
Unfair.
Maybe in the next roundtable we'll all have seen Yu-Gi-Oh's crazy clip and we'll decide to put him in S tier where he should be.
So true.
But yeah,
best.
that's the tier list. We can now go and look at it from a bit wider perspective. Do you guys think the state of the game with the characters being at their current power state is good, is okay? Is how many characters do you think need to get buffed or nerfed for things to get better?
Please nerf Lidan and Tia so I can play melees.
They need to nerf items first.
Can we just move Yunwu out of A+? There's no way he's A+.
Yeah, he says.
I genuinely think Yunwu is at least bottom of A+.
Yes. Can we actually discuss the Hygiene
I think
state?
wherever Cathy goes,
and other
pure no top
definitely
of stuff.
S tier characters.
We did talk about hygiene, I think, enough. It was one of the bigger talks.
What
about
Camilo? That was a bigger talk. You didn't let me speak much.
Do you guys think Camilo? Do you guys think maybe we should revisit some of the characters we put at the top of A+ tier? Maybe now S tier is a bit easier for them to get there. Do you think Camilo should be S tier?
Yes.
Yes.
I think
This is the ranked place.
First, please.
I think it was unfair how his only con was tournament play, and then we talk
tournament
about
play.
other characters only based on ranked. Like
Yeah.
Who here thinks he should? Who here thinks he should stay at A+? Okay, guess we bump him up then. Let's
Tell
go
me
to
why.
another character that a lot of people said should be S tier, which is Lennox. Do you guys think we should fix her position?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
If we
Lennox
put
is
Camilo-
she should be S.
If we put Camilo in S, Linux is definitely S.
Yeah.
And I think if we put Camilo in a
Camilo
tier,
in X, Lennox should be S.
I'm
And
looking at
Lennox
Hatchet
as well.
to them.
Any Lennox simp would rather her to stay at A+?
C tier.
Okay.
So true.
Tier.
So true.
Just
Lennox
swap places
also
with
getting
Johan at
an
this
upgrade?
point.
Yeah.
Any other characters you would like to bring up that we didn't discuss for 10
Hatchet?
minutes, like hygiene?
maybe this is my only opinion,
Yeah,
but I
Hatchet,
think
Laura.
wherever Camilo
Yeah.
is, Jackie should also belong in the same tier. as
Yes.
Camilo.
Yeah.
I've
I
been saying
also
Jack
agree as
should
well.
be S the whole time.
Okay, so who here thinks Jackie is S tier actually?
Yes.
There's no way. There's no way.
She has tier.
There's no way.
I
she
don't
has
agree.
S.
And who here
No way.
outside of Arcas think she is A+?
I think she's
Me.
That's
I think she's A+.
Okay, so I guess we just bump her to a bit more of the top of A+. That would seem to be most
I'm
fair.
fine with top of A+, but she's definitely not S.
Yeah,
there's no
she
way.
is not S tier.
We have like
She
seven
has so many
votes for
bad
S tier
matchups.
and one vote for A+, and you say
It's
we
not-
go for A+.
It's not one
Four.
vote for A+. It was like
There
4
were
or
like
5.
four.
And
there
if
were-
it's somewhat close, I think it's kind of fair to just bump her near the top of A+.
Okay.
Do you guys want to maybe discuss it more? Maybe we can get some people to differentiate their opinions.
I mean, I think for climbing, Jackie deserves S.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
she
agree.
deserves the S. If Tylin is S, there's no way Jackie is an S.
I was about to mention that, yeah.
But that's just because matchup bias.
What, sorry?
What?
That's just because of matchup bias. There's no way the Eileen is worse than Jackie.
No. Like, Dylan's not worse. They are
Jackie has better
pretty
stats
much
than
the same.
Tylin. That's not bias.
Jackie has better climbing stats than Dylan, I mean, but there's no way she's better overall.
But this is a climbing
This is
skill list.
climbing.
And this is why Hyejin should be an S. If Jackie is S,
Shiejin should be 2.
Also, just
And I'm
saying
gonna
that it's
die
not
fighting for
just
it.
climbing stats that are better for Jackie, it's literally every single stat other than pick rate that is better on Jackie than Dylan.
Okay, so
Like,
one
better
final
win rate, average round can kill.
one final vote. Who thinks Jackie should be at the bottom of S tier?
I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah,
Like,
that.
I agree.
Yeah, sure.
Well, let's see.
Bottom
And-
SS.
Okay, I counted about 8. Who thinks
Jackie has probably the
bottom?
most insane stats I've seen.
Who
Like,
thinks
wow.
top of A plus is good enough?
I think so.
I'll stay with that as well.
Yeah, it does seem more are in the S tier region, so we'll just put her at the bottom of S tier and hope Passy won't be too upset.
He's gonna run us down.
I also,
Even shows S tier.
if we're doing a climbing tier list, I think Daniel and Alex should also go in S.
We are doing a bit of
Yeah.
both. It's fine to put a bit of a perspective on climbing, but if a character feels very, very bad on tournaments, you should also put it in perspective, I think. Would you say Daniel and Alex? Who here thinks Daniel should be bumped up to S?
Yeah, I
mean,
don't
I
think
don't
either
think so.
character has ever performed badly in tournaments, really. Like recent tournament wise, like you see Alex pop off, you see Daniel kind of like he doesn't have like terrible games, and in rank they do really well. So
Yeah, there are still like 4 characters that I want to move up to S, and Danielle is one of them.
Okay, so
But
let's.
we already discussed the weaknesses of Daniel, so I don't know.
I guess some of the characters that still stayed in A plus are just a bit of like a 50-50 between S or A plus. So I think just put them there with the top of A plus for now is kind of fair. We did manage to reduce A plus back to 2 lines, so good job for that. I guess after discussing a lot about the tier list for like more than 2 hours, we can go back to our nice and round table, which even has depraved as a very small tiara. Let's go to a bit of last topics. I have this written somewhere here. Already talked about the tier list. Is there anything else that you guys think that we missed? Any big issue with ERBS that
Yes.
needs to be
Yes.
addressed? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, one big issue. I think the balance right now, in my opinion, shouldn't be so focused on the characters, but the items. I think there are some items that completely are breaking the game. And after those changes, we can see maybe which characters perform better than others. Right now, clearly Halo is a problem. Like Mithril Armor was a problem. Now it's changed. It's better, I think, like overall for the game. But Halo clearly right now is very problematic.
I think cooldown on Halo should be increased. It shouldn't be 2 seconds.
Agreed. I think
Yeah.
augments are the same problem though. Like we are balanced
Augments and
we
items are a problem.
don't. Yeah, items and augments. I think certain augments carry certain characters a lot. I think Aiden is a lot better due to Vampiric. I think every healing factor character is broken due to healing factor. Like Leon got nerfed a billion times because of abusing healing factor. And before that, Smolder.
I can also agree with that, as like, I think if Vampiric was not as crazy as it was for Sua, she wouldn't be so big in S tier and so crazy good. Like, I feel like a lot of characters are just what their augments or items. Like right now, maybe Sua seems weak, but I think if suddenly we let her use Halo, she'll suddenly be back to S tier or something. Like, some characters just become, like, get half of their kit or half of their damage just from augments or items.
I mentioned this during the NA the NA roundtable, but I think that generally the reception to augments since the release has been pretty much entirely negative. And I think that the idea which augments were pitched with, which is that different players can use different sets of augments to play their characters in different ways, is fairly cool. I think that it provides meaningful interactive gameplay if people are able to personalize their characters and play in different playstyles based off of what augments they select. However, with the current implementation of augments, as they've been since they were introduced in, I believe, Season 3, this isn't written down, by the way, I'm just saying this from my head. It's like the augments as it currently stands, there is a set of augments that are usually best in slot for the character, and they usually are just, how am I able to make this character one-shot another character as fast as possible, or how am I able to have this character survive as much as possible? And it doesn't provide meaningful interactive gameplay, I believe. It makes it so characters just get their strengths increased, and there is a set of augments that everyone is supposed to use on most characters. And I think that that is not what augments are supposed to be used for. And I think that the game would still be better off if augments were never introduced.
Agree.
I agree with this because they said that augments wouldn't define the meta before introduction, and that's literally what it does right now.
What it does. Like augments is probably the first thing that came to this game in a
I
while.
think any character that can abuse Amp Drone well right now is like A or A+. A+ at least, I mean.
Talking about things that somewhat ruin the game, what do you guys think about the new competitive future of duos and squads? Is it completely ruined, or can and should just fix it somehow?
It sucks. It
It
ruins all
sucks.
the skill aspect of the duos.
Unbelievable. I haven't seen worse team design in a game than this.
And it's good for like normal and casual play, not for tournament play.
The thing is, I think squads are fine with the revive system. You should see squads as like a casual game mode to play with friends. I think that's how Korea mostly sees it as well. I think it's fine to have the revive system there. It's like, okay, we are new to the game, we play with friends, we revive because we are Ooga Booga mode and stuff. I think it's fine to have the revive system there. But duos should have the revive system removed or changed to the old one. Or at least have the option in custom games to remove.
I agree.
To remove revive.
Yeah, like for normal play, keep it the way, but for like tournament and stuff, they should like allow us to switch it to old system.
Yeah, the issue
No revive.
still remains that if you were to keep ranked with the revive system and make tournaments not have it, you can practice without having it, except for in-houses. But still, I think it's better than just having it forced on you. Then again, I think they could change it in duos to only revive until like 5 minutes at most, maybe 250 or something. Like
maybe
Mate 1.
They do. Maybe,
Yeah.
no.
That would be
Yeah.
fine, I guess, but right now it's just garbage.
Yeah, is it day 3 now? I'm not sure.
It's like 950 minutes where you still revive. It's so disgusting.
I think
And
it's
the
like
main-
Omega Spawn.
The
That's
main
too
reason
much.
why I don't understand this change is like they said that they mainly want duos to just be a casual game mode, right? But literally 90% of their tournaments that they organized was team modes, either squads or duos. And they
Yeah.
completely just kill the competitiveness or like competitive integrity of both duos and squads. So I don't really understand them because it's just really controversial.
They also creating characters that have some interaction in team modes, so it's clear that they want some in like team modes interactions.
I think the
So
revive is
the
actually
rest-
so dumb. Like you can just engage on someone, you can just force somebody to get third partied, and then you tell your duo, "Oh, just turn away. I'm gonna get revived." Like, Jesus, this
That's what
annoys me so
happens.
fucking
Yeah,
much in
Like
ranked.
this is
that's a little what
literally how
happens.
our duo rank went.
I think
hated it so much.
realistically it's good, but like only for night 1, and then you switch to the old revive system where you actually have to like do a risky thing to revive your partner.
Yeah, I think day
I
3
think
is
it's
too
good.
long. Like it's so forgiving. I think revive system should go on until day 1 at the end, and after that it should switch to the old one.
Yeah, I
Or
think the
just keep it
concept
for
of the revive
survive.
is not bad because I mean, it's possible to get grief night 1 really early, so I think night 1 revive is not bad, but after that it's kind
But after that, it's scope. Yeah.
Speaking about stuff that then kind of decided to revert, back when they designed those new game modes, they kind of also gave us very weird active items that performed a lot weirdly in duos, and they were kind of somewhat reverted. What do you guys think about the state of active items, both for like duos and solos?
It's actually so meme. I literally crafted Kundala before last patch, and I wanted my biotic infusion bonk, and I had fucking cleanse. I was like, what the fuck is this? I want to throw it away.
I'm glad they reverted.
Does any of you craft the Zonia's first core item?
Yeah.
I think I've legit
so
never
much.
seen it in my life in game.
I think
Totem is so shit.
They didn't
Oh,
revert it for
that's-
team modes. It makes me so sad. I want my old Kundala in team modes instead of a
Yeah,
cleanse
same.
Kundala.
Like I think literally all active items except for Veritas are just dog shit.
Not gonna lie, I think Kundala is so undertuned right now. Like for a Meteor plus a Meteor, you can just make I don't know, Halo, and it's like 10 times better on most of the characters.
Oh, it's actually good. I love Kundala. I think it's in a fine state, just not in team
I
modes.
love Kundalas, man.
In solos, it's really good.
I never see
The
anyone
stats on
building it.
Kundala, I think, are like pretty high when you compare it to every other accessory. It reigns on top, and I think it makes sense for an accessory that uses 2 RNG items. I think most AMP characters would love it as their accessory, which is a good state for the item.
The thing is, back in the days, we couldn't use Mithril and Meteorite on AMP for the most part.
Yeah.
At least Mithril.
Like, the biggest problem with it is that it needs Mithril, and you can only reliably get it from Alpha. And that's why a lot of characters just don't opt into it, because they can't really afford to do so.
And at the same time, I would just prefer to make Mithril armor, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, that's pretty much just you. A lot of M characters would love it. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of M characters has it as a best in slot.
Do you guys think we need more RNG stuff, more RNG equips, more ways to get RNG stuff? Or maybe they should tone down and we should see a lot more of base builds running around?
I think we need less ways to get RNG stuff. I think as it currently stands, games can be like, if you think about how difficult it is, we just mentioned about a minute or two ago, it is difficult to reliably get a mithril because there is only one way to reliably get a mithril in the game, killing a raid boss, basically. But for the amount of effort it takes for someone to either kill someone at kill someone at an objective and or take the objective, like steal off someone else and threaten them, the amount of time that it takes for someone to do that with only one of them in the game, and then you think about you just open a blue box or you kill a wolf and you get the same reward with like 99% less work and you just get an amazing item. Like, people in NA will literally contest blue boxes because of the chance of getting an RNG item. And I don't think that provides meaningful gameplay in the fact that you can get a significantly huge reward by basically doing nothing.
Yeah. I think blue boxes are kind of OP. The ones that spawn after alpha, like the ones that drop after alpha. There's like you get way too much like good RNG items for free, pretty much.
Oh, I mean, purple boxes suck dick, but right now they're really,
Purple
really bad.
boss sucks. Yeah.
Purple boxes aren't good. I don't have a problem with purple boxes, and I don't have a problem with mithril items coming out of purple boxes either. I have a problem with RNG items coming out of blue boxes because you can craft the item you want.
Yeah.
That is where it becomes overpowered.
I have a problem with blood dropping out of animals.
I mean, but first, in my opinion, they should nerf the items. Like right now, RNG is so like important because one upgrade makes you completely, in some cases, completely different character. Like I think they should first rebalance the power of items. Items are out of control right now, and then we can see if
some
RNG.
characters are over the top when they get RNG items.
Is
Example, and then with Halo, right? I think that's like the
And
best
I think
example.
we also kind of need like more RNG items as like a variety. Like at the moment, it's from Foursquare. It's pretty much either just Hermes or Halo, because Halo and Hermes are just both overtuned, but you use it for different purposes. And for example, if a character cannot use Halo, then like Foursquare is way worse on them. In most cases.
I mean, at least with the 4-score, at the very, very worst, you can build the, what is it, remote mine?
Remote mines, Poggies.
And you can definitely do some very nasty things last zone with remote mines.
That's not wrong.
I do think, so here's two things in regards to that. First of all, this might be a hot take. I think that RNG item power levels would be fine if it was actually difficult to get RNG items. If there is, for example, let's say, just bear with me for a second. Let's say you cannot get RNG items unless you win the tree, unless you win a meteor, unless you kill an objective. You cannot get the actual like resources themselves off of boxes or animals, right? In that case, you get a very, very powerful reward for taking a lot of risk or for winning an objective. You are rewarded for doing something good in gameplay. Whereas right now you get very powerful items sometimes if you just kill wolves or you kill a bear or something like that. And I think that if you get it out of a gold chest or a purple chest is a little bit different because you don't actually choose the item you get. Like, for instance, you open up, let's say I open up a chest and I get a mithril quiver on Barbara. I'm never using that. So, you know, why does it matter to me? But if I get a mithril out of a blue chest, it's like, okay, I can build an armor. I can build a helm. I can build something that will 100% lead to a better game state for myself in the future. That's where it becomes a problem. And it's like they introduce these objectives to make it so it's difficult for people to get these items, but then at the same time have the same reward from objectives for doing nothing.
So
and I think that if you make the objectives, or if you make it difficult to get resources, the reward for getting those resources should be as good as they are right now. If you keep the resources as easy and accessible as they are to get right now through RNG, I think you need to tone down the power on all the items, which also makes it so it sucks for people who are getting objectives though, which is why I think that the actual solution to this is removing the RNG or toning it down significantly.
My opinion is actually that blue and purple boxes should have more RNG and animals. Yes, actually, like if boxes were an actual objective, that would be nice. Like there was a state of the game where no, purple boxes are dog shit. You don't want to.
The blue boxes.
I mean, purple and gold boxes should be, or like could be an objective, because that's how most battle royales work. That like drops actually matter.
They used to be. They really used to be like purple boxes used to have basically guaranteed midfill back then, or like Foursquare. I thought it was really, really good for the game. Like, especially purple boxes, if they have a high chance of midfill, you can contest the box and other people would contest them too, so you have more objectives on the map. I think animals right now are clown.
Like, if you make purple boxes give like mid armor more consistently, like everyone is gonna be so tanky.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be running around with mithril armor.
Doesn't
it used to
everyone
be the case,
do that
actually.
now?
I think there's not a good solution for this, because if you, let's say you just remove all RNG from animals and boxes, and then you're left off with objectives, what's gonna become the meta? You're just gonna play Camilo, you're just gonna kill Alpha every game, you're just gonna all over the lobby.
I think what they should be doing with RNG drops is make it so fourth animal respawns are a guaranteed RNG drop, for example. Maybe even third, but like
late
fourth
game
animal
animals?
drops. Yeah, like super late game. Like day 4 animals should be guaranteed RNG drops, because what do you do in late game after Wick has been taken? You run away from the person who took Wick and farm animals. So if these animals become an actual objective to fight over, you have actually something to do other than trying to run away from the guy with Wick for 6 minutes.
I could agree.
It's already the case, though.
Like,
it already is the case. And
I also want to bring up one thing really quick. Someone brought up that this would be unhealthy for the game because of Camilo's taking alpha for free every time. Is that not a problem with Camilo and not a problem with objectives?
No, I give that just as an example. Like, let's say just the strongest character at contesting is gonna become the only meta that people are gonna play.
There's also
Like,
gonna be
it's
more
not
people
necessarily
there.
Camilo. Like,
I don't
you
think
can reduce
I don't know. It
the
could
characters.
even be.
I also
don't know.
don't think there is a
Catty.
character. I don't think there is a character in the game right now who, if they're at an objective, they 100% will take the objective every single time, no matter what the situation is. And if there is a character like that, it is on Nimble Neuron to balance it so it doesn't get that way. But I think that having a character that is strong in contesting objectives be rewarded when they do contest objective is completely fine for the game.
Depends how rewarded they get from it. If you say, well, you only get RNG from the objectives, and they get the objective and get the item, which makes them snowball hard, then it's bad for the game if nobody can do anything against it. Let's say they get alpha. That means they're stronger than the rest of the people in the lobby. So they get the next objective and the next objective, and then they snowball.
And I agree with you. I agree with you on the fact that there should be a way to counter players who have snowballed very hard. And that's why they spawn multiple objectives at the same time. There is not the only one objective that spawns by itself in the whole game is Wickline. Every other objective in the game spawns with something else, so it is not one person taking every objective specifically to counter that.
Okay, I think we talked a bit too much and enough about RNG. One last topic I would like to bring up is the new routing system we got introduced to in this season. Personally, it's obviously a nice thing that you don't have to start hospital with 8 other people and hope I get to play the game but getting a good spawn.
Hell yeah.
But at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit boring when there is 8 people in my zone to be like, I'm probably still gonna get my loot, why adapt to another build? I really like the fact that you need multiple builds and cannot adapt to what people pick. What do you guys think? Was it a good change, or maybe should have been a bit different?
Wait, what?
The new routing system.
The new loot
You mean
system.
the
Basically, you getting
more loot.
guaranteed to more loot.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I can
change.
make smart bombs in route.
When did it get announced? Is it like on the Korean roadmap or something?
No, it's
No,
what
no.
Already
it
in
was
the game.
a while ago.
Already in the game. It's already in the game, man. But it's they increased the amount of items.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean. Like the amount
And
of
they-
loot that they.
Yeah, and they fixed the loot clusters, right? So you actually get like 2 paper.
I
and
feel
you
like
have
right
one
now the amount of routes that you have to kind of pick another one because it's too contested is pretty low. Most of the time you'll still find your loot in not that hard of a way in the zones you're in.
I mean, I don't have that same experience, to be honest. If there's a lot of people in SEM, when I'm playing the meta Sylvia build, I switch routes because I will not get my items there.
Yeah.
I think
Where
we
do you
have
set
sense
your
for
items, by the way? Like, you can find one of each of your items in one loot cluster. If you need more than one, then yeah.
Yeah, I need more than one.
Ah, I see.
But I think a lot of routes, like it's just for SEM specifically, because it's very contested, and I need 2 feathers, which is probably the most contested item there.
Yes, if
I
there
think
are
it
6
just really
people in
depends per
SEM,
route.
someone's
per
gonna get
character.
fucked because they just spawn near each other.
I mean, there's usually 6 people. There's usually like
there-
average 6 people in SEM.
Aren't there guaranteed 2 feathers in cemetery though? Each cluster?
Yeah, yes, they are.
But the loot spawns are like really fucked. There's like 4 or 5 loot spawns, I think.
There's 5.
There's 5
There's
in
2
every
really
zone.
good loot
Really?
spawns,
Okay.
and the rest are
Yeah.
kind of mediocre.
I'm just saying that for my route specifically, if there's a lot of people in SEM, like if there's 4 people, let's say, for 3 people I'll risk it, but for 4, there's just too high of a chance that the 2 clusters that are most accessible for me will be taken, which means I will be significantly slowed down on my route, and I will switch route in that case. And that's still the case for every character I play. It's the same for Shukai as well. Although for Shukai it's not really the case because the meta route is just really fast and quick.
There's also this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That was basically it.
There's also this thing that routes that don't start in cemetery but go there second or maybe even third are basically screwed from the cemetery meta right now.
Yeah.
Like I experience this especially a lot on my favorite DS Yuki build, where I go into cemetery and I'm like, please just let me find 1 feather and 1 chain and I'll be out of here.
Please just let me find 1 flower.
Like I'm not even bothered about flowers anymore because I know I won't be getting them because everyone and their grandparents are looking for flowers to give each other for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, or whatever freaking day that they are choosing for.
But I mean, that was always the case.
No,
it's fine.
It wasn't this bad. I have always
literally
reliably
increased the items.
Like before I increased the items, I could go to cemetery and I could reliably find at least 1 flower and 1 feather. Now I'm praying to find one of the least used items there, chain. Like everyone picks 1 chain at best usually, so there's usually multiple chains lying around in cemetery. But trying to get anything other than a chain there is pure copium.
That's because everybody is in SEM nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's a problem with the zone.
Yeah, like if the zone is meta, then yeah, they will take your items.
Yeah, that's super annoying.
It's because they
Wow.
move feather from hospital to temple. At temple, you don't guarantee 2 per cluster, unlike other zones.
Yeah.
So everyone prefers them.
True.
No
They're
feathers.
just
Currently, that's my
they're
only
feathers.
problem with the root clusters. That in temple, for example, where everyone or like most characters that start at 1 feather, there's not even a guaranteed 2 feathers in each zone. Like you have 9 there instead of 10. And it would make a lot of routing way easier.
Okay. I think they should change the location of the teleporting in temple because once you start at temple, like right side is still unused. People don't route to right side. Everyone just route to left side, and it doesn't make sense.
So, I guess I do stand corrected. Personally, at my builds, I never had any issues. Even if there is like 5 people starting there, I just look what is free and I go for that cluster. I guess on some specific grids and even more greedier builds that need 2 clusters, like having your 1 really, really good and fast cluster taken might be a big game changer. So, I guess it is, I would say at least for my part, I guess it is a good change. And there is some still adaptations in routes. but I do want us to start finishing up because it is getting a bit late. A lot of people have to go. We've been here for almost like 3 hours and a half. Does anyone have any last words they would like to say before I'll do my finishing speech?
Rework Kiara. I don't want to play
Subscribe to my
crit
YouTube
anymore.
channel.
EHGD's S tier. EHGD's S tier. Fuck that bitch.
Actually subscribe to Smug. He makes banger content. Also, fucking rework Kiara already. I don't want to play a crit anymore. I don't want crit Kiara to exist anymore. I want to play Amp Kiara. I want Amp Kiara to be the viable build. And because it requires a lot
Kiara
more...
got top 50 in Korea recently. It's good.
Amp Kiara abusing KR's mistakes is not a statement to Kiara being good.
I saw Kiara 1v1 4 people.
Worse than Korea, so you're fine. Go play Amp Kiara.
So true, actually, you know? Mr. Teal is the worst amp weapon in the game, and they still haven't changed it.
Okay.
It's amazing. It works.
Yellow
That's
on it.
That's enough of last words. We all want some buffs and some nerf, mostly buffs.
And what about Bombjochen clip?
Okay. I would, before we finish up, I would like to thank you to all of you for helping me setting this up. I am a very bad host. I never hosted something like this before. I know the last host got a bit of hate for not doing everything right, and I'm sure I did stuff even worse. But thanks to you guys, I think I managed to avoid some mistakes because we did vote on most of the stuff that happened here. We can still do stuff a lot better in the next time. Thanks so much for joining, making all this long time to talk about the meta with me. It was really fun, at least for me. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. And yeah, I guess that's it. Q EU ranked. And see you next time. Thanks so much for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for hosting.